dedicated to our. We're glad you're here, buddy. This one's for you. Toe meets leather. Hope those chin straps are buckled. It is time for football. Tajay Watley, it goes in close to the end zone. He brings it out, but I believe it went in the end zone.
Yep, it broke the goal line. Going to come out to the 20.
So we are underway, folks, and Darlington is going to start at the 20-yard line. And as we always point out, whenever you've got a kicker like this young man, Crimmins Hankinson, that can boot it towards the end zone like that to make the other team go 80 yards, that is surely a weapon. So that was a good kickoff there by Aquinas, but Darlington gets ready to line up on offense. Of course, their starting quarterback tonight, Griffin Brewster, who is just a sophomore. Boy, he has really grown throughout the season. His season has done a tremendous job for the Darlington Tigers. They will line up in their power set to begin. Under center, Griffin Brewster ready to take the snap. They're going to hand the ball off and go around the left side. I believe that was Carl Schweiger who picked up maybe 2 yards there on the first play.
Well, power eye, we haven't seen that much out of Darlington this year. Hand to the power back, Carl Schweiger out there, and a short gain over to the left side of the offensive line.
That's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 here for the Darlington Tigers after the short pickup. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. They're working right to left as we are just underway here from Aquinas High School in Augusta, Georgia. Griffin Brewster getting set to take the snap, and I just heard a whistle. A flag comes in. Looks like we may have a delay of game, perhaps. Nope, it's going to be a false start.
I didn't see anybody move. I don't know where that flag came from.
That's going to back them up 5 yards, so that'll put them back on their own 17 as they get ready for 2nd down, and now 13 yards to go. They'll trips to the. They're going to fake a sweep, and then quarterback's going to tuck and run, and he gets some forward momentum, carries the pile all the way down to the 30. We'll see where they're going to spot him, but that was a good pickup there for the Darlington Tigers on 2nd down.
Well, I guess Griffin taking a page from John Paul's book. He's going to run it some too, and that was just a fake on the sweep, and then he just took it right straight off the left side of the line. Nice game. Got
enough for the first down. They're down to the 31. That was a pickup of 14. Shotgun formation. They have the sniffer back in. 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side of the formation. They go to Tajay Watley for the first time of the game. Gets tripped.
Tajay.
So that'll bring them down to the 34-yard line, still in their own territory. Darlington working right to left.
To the edge and not letting him get out.
3rd down and 7 here for the Tigers. The line of scrimmage this time with 3 wide receivers to the near side. They get a few yards or 7 yards to get a first down. Here's the snap, rolling out, looking to throw here on 3rd down. Ball's in the air. It goes to Tajay. He breaks a couple of tackles and gets. I don't think we're in 4 down territory here.
No, he's going to be about 2 yards short. I fully expect them. There comes Elijah Ball. It looks like they're sending the punting team out, so Darlington's going to punt. That was a pop pass out to Tajay. He was the safety outlet on that play, and Aquinas did a good job of corralling him, not giving him many yards on that play.
So Darlington gets 1 first down on their first drive, but then after that, they end up having to punt after the 2nd series. Here's the kick from Elijah Ball. It'll drop in. Fair catch is signaled, and it'll be fielded at the 30. And so pretty decent field position here for Aquinas, but it was definitely a good punt there from Darlington as well.
That was an end-over-end punt, not some of those spinners we've seen out of
So and set up shop again at their first drive of the game. Darlington now on defense. Aquinas working from left to right. They've got John Paul in at quarterback, 3 wide receivers. The quarterback's going to run on first down. They find a seam up the middle, breaks the tackle, gets down to the 40. So that's going to be a pickup of 8 or 9 yards on first down.
Well, Darlington's going to have to remember to wrap up John Paul. They hit him right at the line of scrimmage, and he just spun out and got 8 more yards after he'd been hit initially out there. They've just got to wrap up. They had him covered, and they just didn't wrap up.
2nd down and 1. This time John Paul is going to line him up in a shotgun with 2 wide receivers split to the far side, 1 to the near. And here.
Well, he just rolling out to the strong side of his formation that time and just looking for an opening in there and managed to squeeze through for about 3 yards.
Offensive line tonight, Connor Gibbs, Wyatt Wagnus, Brooks May, Michael Bowles, and Gabriel Bussey here for Aquinas. This is 1st down and 10 from the Aquinas 42. They have the ball. Shotgun formation. Quarterback's going to check the play at the line of scrimmage. He's got 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near, and a running back in the backfield. That's going to be Joseph Douglas, and he's their leading rusher. They're going to throw a quick out here to the right side in the flat, and it's going to be complete and a pickup of maybe 2 or 3 yards for George Welch, the wide receiver on the screen.
Nicely played. George Welch is a weapon of Aquinas, but he managed to pick up about 3 yards. He was a safety man out there. They had everybody else covered. Darlington in a nickel package that time, and they'll probably be in nickel a lot tonight with as many passes and as many receivers as they put out there.
John Paul lines them up with 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. We are scoreless, 7:30 left first quarter. Aquinas with the ball. They're going to run it to the right side, try to find a little seam, and they're going to be pushed out of bounds almost at midfield. So it's going to be short of the first down, but another good pickup here for Aquinas.
Well, again, that's John Paul running into the boundary, which is the short side of the field over here, and just picking his way. Looks like he likes to just kind of pick his way through and see an opening and dart in there. Darlington did a good job of shutting it down for not much gain that time.
3rd down and 4 here for Aquinas, so they're still.
Big 3rd down coming up here early in the game.
2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near, actually 3 now to the far side. Shotgun formation, John Paul ready to take the snap. He's going to throw a quick pass. It is batted down. What a great defensive play there by Elijah Ball,
nice.
Getting his hands up.
Big hand, bats it down, just nowhere to go. That's going to leave them 4th and 4. They were throwing that single receiver out to this side, and Elijah Ball just stopped him at the line. I don't know if John Paul, I don't know how tall John Paul is, but he wasn't tall enough to get it over Elijah that time.
Crimmins Hankinson going to punt it away here for Aquinas. He fumbles the snap. It is knocked down by Darlington. It's going to be picked up on the 36-yard line. What a great play that by the Darlington. Excellent field position here for the Tigers.
Well, that's just I talked about the Tigers can't make mistakes. For Aquinas, they can't make mistakes either, and that's a big one. Now Darlington's got to capitalize on this turnover here. So that was a bad play. The snapper rolled the ball back to the punter. He never really had a chance.
7:13 left here in the first quarter. We're scoreless, but Darlington is already at the 37-yard line on Aquinas' side of the field as they get ready for their second drive of the night. Shotgun formation. They're going to hand it off, a delayed handoff to Tajay Watley, and they're going to stuff him kind of close to the line of scrimmage. He only picked up about 2 yards, it looks like.
Well, that's they had the inside of the line just jammed up. Those that big nose man, number 52, out there, and they just had it shut down. He had nowhere to go on it.
So a pickup of 1. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 here for the Darlington Tigers as they were gifted a short field after the bad snap on the punt, or handling of the snap, I should say. Trips to the right, 1 to the near side. Shotgun formation, 2nd down and 9 from the 35. There's the snap. They're going to throw it out to the right side. It's going to connect. They're going to have it and bring it down to the 25-yard line. That was a great catch there by number 28, Casey Gunn of Darlington Tigers.
Nice. We need Casey to have a big night tonight. Good throw, good catch. Just a short pass out there to the farthest receiver out there, and that trips formation out to Darlington's right-hand side of their line.
That moves the chains. The ball's on the 25-yard line. Darlington sets up shop for their second series of the drive. Quarterback looks off to the sidelines for the play call. He's going to check it at the line of scrimmage. He's got Tajay Watley in the backfield, 2 wide receivers on each side of the formation. He's going to hand it quickly and yard line.
Nice run on a give to Tajay, just running straight off tackle out there to his right, and nice pickup.
8 yards.
Yep, Aquinas in a 4-3 and a cover 4 that time, and Darlington just Tajay able to get outside out there. They weren't able to contain him that time.
2nd down and 2. Here comes the snap to Griffin Brewster. 2 wide receivers to the near side. He's going to check the play at the line of scrimmage. He's got Carl Schweiger in it there, that sniffer back position. Tajay Watley back there with him in the backfield. They're going with Tajay. He runs right up the middle, breaks a tackle, ladies and gentlemen, 18 yards to the end zone. Tajay Watley, Darlington strikes first.
That's the kind of night Tajay's got to have for Darlington. Be able to hang in against these guys. Nice run, straight off tackle over to his right. Right through, just stepped around the linebacker and nobody to stop him.
5:23 left, first quarter. Darlington strikes first. They're up 6-0. They'll go to the line of scrimmage and kick the extra point. Kicker, of course, is Alex Little. And we wait for the snap, and they try to tack on the extra point. There's the hold. It's good. The kick is up right through the middle of the uprights, and it's 7-0, just like that. So an 18-yard run caps off a 37-yard drive for the Darlington Tigers. And they are in the end zone first, and that was a good way to start the game.
Well, that's what they've got to do, is take advantage of turnovers when they get them, and nice job and a nice drive, nice play call by Brent Bell on that series.
No doubt. One of the things that we said that they were going to have to do to get things going was try to mix it up, and obviously you saw a lot of Tajay on that second drive, particularly towards the end of it. But I think some of the things they were doing early on to kind of get the defense loosened up a little bit off balance helped set that up for him to be successful in the run game. And let's face it, no matter what the situation is, even if you know he's getting the rock, he's just a load to bring down. He can really move.
Yeah, he can, and I think that pass out there to Casey Gunn, that the widest receiver out there, is
out. And Alex Little going to be Cam Brinson here for the Irish. The kick is going to be short to about the 25, where it's going to be brought out by number 19. His name is Michael Brown Jr., and he brings it all the way down to the 44-yard line. Before they bring him down, he had it out to the far side and cut it back up to the middle of the field and found a seam and was able to get a big return.
Well, I'm kind of surprised to see Darlington going to the pooch kick. We've seen Alex kick the ball into the end zone before, but cold weather, they might have not looked for him to be able to kick it that far.
So Aquinas is going to start on their own 43-yard line to begin this drive. So this is their best field position so far in the game. Last time they got it on the 31, got one first down, and then had to punt it away to the Darlington Tigers, who would end up scoring very quickly afterwards. Trips to the near side, one to the far side. Shotgun formation, obviously John Paul in at quarterback. He's going to run the football on first down, finds a big hole, and is able to bring it about 9. Oh, I think he may have got the first down there on that first play.
He's darn close to it if he didn't get it. He's just a shifty runner, isn't he? He just looked like we had him, and then he just made a cut, and he was around the guy.
They're going to mark him short by about a half a yard. And I'm the nose of the ball is really close. And they're going to stack receivers here to the near side. They're going to throw it out into the flat. They'll pick it up at midfield, bring it down to the 42-yard line before they're able to bring the wide receiver down. I believe that was number 44, Joseph Douglas. And that's going to be a first down and then some here for the Aquinas Fighting Irish. That was a good play.
Well, they had their 4 receivers out here in a diamond formation to their right and threw it to the back, furthest receiver back, and they in effect had a screen pass out here, 3 blockers in front of him.
Man goes in motion to the left side of the formation, lines up in the slot. The quarterback is going to pitch it on an option play to Joseph Douglas, and this time the defense was really ready for him, and actually he's probably going to lose a yard or 2 on that play. Perhaps. We'll see where the spot is.
Well, that was a nice job. That was a true option out there, and John Paul pitched it, and Darlington did a good job of sliding out there and gave him no gain. It looks like what they're going to mark it.
So that'll bring up second down and 10 here for Aquinas. They now have the ball on the Darlington 41-yard line, trailing at home to Darlington 7-0 after the 18-yard Tajay Watley run for a touchdown. Trips to the near side, 2 wide receivers to the far side, empty backfield. There's the snap. They're going to throw a pass. It is batted down. And which young man got his hands on that
Number
one?
54.
It's going to be, of course, Elijah Ball again. That's his second batted down pass of the game. Good defense so far by Darlington in this game for the most part. They've given up a couple of decent runs, but overall they've been able to pin their ears back and come up with some good stops.
Well, so far that's the second scrimmage. It's hard to say to say just how important that is when you can do that. That really takes a lot of the starch out of the quarterback.
Third down and 10. They're going to snap the ball. Quarterback's rolling out the pass. He's going to throw it out of bounds off the sidelines. That's going to bring up fourth down. He took a heavy hit when he threw the ball as well. Somebody got to him in the backfield.
I believe that was Jacob Hunt that delivered that hit.
Looks like, I don't know, they may be in 4-down territory. It looks like John Paul's going to stay on the field right now.
Well, he stays on the field as the personal protector.
Well, you're right. Crimmins Hankinson is coming in. They will punt it away. Back deep here for the Darlington Tigers. Trying to catch his number. There's the snap. There's the kick. It's going to be a spiraling kick that goes down to the 20, rolls inside. Oh, my goodness. To the 4-yard line before it dies. So that was an excellent punt there by Crimmins Hankinson. It's going to pin Darlington back up against their own end zone.
Well, very nearly blocked that. That was a high snap that he had to really climb a ladder to get. And we had a man coming in there. Was that Rhett McDermott or? I can't tell. Couldn't tell the number on there, but just almost blocked the punt. But he got a good roll out of it, so now Darlington starts.
Playing here in Augusta. They're going to line up in shotgun formation. Tajay Watley in the backfield. 2 wide receivers are split here to the near side. They're going to hand it off and go up the middle. Tajay finds a little room to run and gets it down to close to the 9-yard line. So that was a great play there on first down, trying to get it away from Darlington's own end zone.
Dive up the middle. Important play to get out there and give them a little bit of room to operate. Now they're on the 8-yard line, and so they've got a little bit behind them and 6 yards away from another first down.
So second down and 6 for Darlington from the 8-yard line. 2 wide receivers split to the near side, working right to left. Shotgun formation. Brewster taking the snap. He's going to give it right back to Tajay Watley, and he's going to be dropped about where the play started. So if he picked up anything, it wasn't a whole lot. So
I think they had a run blitz coming in from the right side of Darlington's offensive line. He just got him in the backfield. Just too much penetration, unblocked, and just nowhere to go. And lucky to have no gain out of that and not a loss.
Third down and 6 here for the Darlington Tigers. This time they're going to split wide receivers, 2 on each side of the formation. Griffin Brewster, shotgun. And here comes the snap. He's going to fake it and try to run up the middle. The defense stayed home, was ready for it. We're not fooled by that play, and that's going to bring up third down here for the fourth down, Darlington Tigers, and they're going to have to punt it away and go 3 and out.
Well, that was a conservative play call. They just didn't want to risk a pass on an obvious throwing down with back here this deep in their own end zone, so they elected to take the safe play, and they had Aquinas had a blitz on that time. They had 2 linebackers.
Tate Ratledge punts it. It's going all the way down to the 42-yard line, takes a Darlington bounce, and it's going to roll back to the 46 before it dies, and that's where Aquinas is going to take over. So good field position again, Eddie.
The 46-yard line.
Well, good field position, but good job by Tate kind of kicking them out of a hole there.
So 3 and out go the Darlington Tigers. We've got 1:42 left here in the opening quarter with Darlington leading at 7-0. Of course, now they'll send their defense back out on the field a bit quicker than they had hoped to, no question about that. Shotgun, or actually it looks like they're going to run a wildcat play right here to the running back, and he's running off the left side, finds a pretty good seam, stays up, breaks a couple of tackles, and finally they bring him down at the 42-yard line. And that was a big pickup there for Aquinas, and they're going to move the chains, obviously, and then some. That was close to a 20-yard run on first down.
Yeah, they moved the quarterback up to the sniffer back position and snapped it to big number 44 there, and he just rumbled Darlington, having trouble tackling him.
44 is Joseph Douglas, by the way, as they ran a wildcat play. Shotgun formation. They're going to send 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. Quarterback John Paul is going to run the football, and this time they're going to stuff him right at the line of scrimmage. If he picked up anything, it was
that was Kellen Stepp, I think, making that tackle. Just stopped him just completely there. Just hit him and stopped his forward progress. Absolutely nowhere to go.
Second down and 9 here for the Aquinas Fighting Irish, and kind of hobbling off the field a little gimpy is Joseph Douglas. And if he's not 100%, that really hurts their offense. He's their leading rusher. And he is over here getting looked at on the sidelines. That's not good for Aquinas.
No, I guess they're going to go back to that Wildcat, or is that a second string
Well,
quarterback?
that's the running back that
got
hurt.
44. I
Joseph
thought that
Douglas.
was 14. Okay.
Man goes in motion. Now they're going to have trips to the near side, one to the far side. This is 2nd down and 9. They're going to throw a screen pass. They connect, but he's going to be brought down pretty quick. So he might have gained a yard or two on the play. The man that caught the pass was George Welch. That brings up a 3rd down and long situation here for Aquinas.
Good job of coverage by Darlington on that again. A bubble screen out here to the outside to him. Darlington just shut it down quickly.
Trips to the far side, one wide receiver to the near side, 3rd down and 7, and it looks like one of the Darlington players jumped, so that's going to be encroachment on the defense.
Well, the flag never did come down. Into the first quarter.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a timeout. 7-0. Darlington leads Aquinas. We'll be back for the second quarter after a quick 1-minute break on WLAQ. All right, we are back for the start of the second quarter. Darlington up after an 18-yard touchdown run from Watley with 5:23 left in that first quarter. They would score on their second drive. That's the only score so far in this game. So Darlington up 7-0 over Aquinas. Aquinas with the football. We've switched sides of the field, and we get ready to resume play. Right now, Aquinas has a big 3rd down and 7 coming up from close to the Darlington 40-yard line. They'll line up in shotgun formation with 2 wide receivers to the far side, one to the near. Working from right to left now. We swap sides of the field. Man goes in motion, and a flag comes in immediately. I haven't seen the officials call just yet, but we're about to.
There it goes.
So that'll be a 5-yard penalty against Aquinas.
Moving over here, delay of a game.
So delay of game, 5-yard penalty. That brings up 3rd down and looks like 13. So shotgun formation, trips to the near side, 1 wide receiver to the far side. They're going to throw a screen pass out to the left side, and he catches it and is going to be brought down at the 46-yard line, and so that's going to bring up 4th down. They're going to have to punt unless they got a kicker with one heck of a leg, which I don't think anybody has got a leg like that around here.
That would be a 62-yard punt, so I don't look for that to happen. Darlington doing a good job of shutting down screen passes so far.
So kicking it away as predicted is going to be Crimson Hankinson. He'll punt it away to Darlington, and Tajay Watley, actually that is going to be number 21. Back to return the kick, Mitch Krigo, and actually it's going to die. That's not Mitch, that's number 28, Casey Gunn. And that's another great punt.
Well, yes, and a very dangerous play. If you're going to get that close to the ball, you need to come up and feel it in the air and not be around there bouncing ball like that. It's just a dangerous play on his part.
Well, we're in the second quarter. Darlington leads at 7-0, but the last 2 times they've had the ball, they've been pinned back up against their own end zone at the 4-yard line after a punt.
Well, so far neither team has moved it except Darlington when they got that bad snap on the punt and were able to recover the ball on the 37-yard line and drove it in. But so far, that's been all inside.
So Darlington gets ready to line up at their own 4-yard line. They're going to line up with everybody in tight in the power formation. They're going to pitch it to Tajay Watley, try to get him a little room. He finds a seam and comes up with a big run. He is out close to the 20-yard line, and so that was a pickup of 16 yards on first down.
Well, nice. That was nothing more than the toss sweep, and they were in an I formation and just tossed it to Tajay out there and let him use his speed to get out there.
Big-time run from a big-time player getting that drive going, so that brings up first down. They're out of jail down at around the 19-yard line on their side of the field. Going back to that power I formation, they're going to give it off to Tajay Watley and run basically the same play and pick up only about 2 yards on that particular play.
Yeah, that was just a dive play to Tajay off tackle that time, and the linebacker there to shut that off.
This time they're going to side, and that is going to be Casey Gunn. They're going to send another one off to the far side. Tajay Watley will be in the backfield with Griffin Brewster. I'm not used to people cheering at the press box, man. It's a little different of a situation. Not very professional. Shotgun formation, Griffin Brewster is getting ready to take the snap. They're going to hand it off and go around the left side. This is going to be Tajay Watley. Breaks a couple of tackles, goes out of bounds. It looks like at about the 33-yard line. So that was another big pickup of about 12, 13 yards.
Well, they sent a man in motion out there, one of those wide receivers out there that brought him in motion coming from left to right. And then they handed off to Tajay going back right, counter against there, and he's found a seam, able to pick up the first down.
30-yard line is where Darlington's going to be lined up here with 1st and 10. Griffin Brewster is looking off to the sidelines for the play call. He'll get ready to line them up. 10:09 remains here in the first half. Darlington leads Aquinas High School, and it looks like Tommy is going to call a timeout. So will we. 7-0, Darlington 0, Aquinas. 10:09 left here in the first half. We'll step out for 30 seconds. All right, we are back as play gets ready to resume. Darlington, as we'll mention again, up 7-0. As you pointed out, Eddie, really just one drive in this game for either team where any offense was yielded, and it was capped off a 37-yard drive by an 18-yard run from Tajay Watley, and that's where we are, 7-0, Darlington.
Well, it's really been a good, clean game and a chess match by these coaches so far on both sides of the ball.
First down and 10, Darlington from the 30-yard line on their own side of the field. They go back to Tajay Watley, finds a little bit of a seam and picks up, probably 4 or 5 yards there on that first down play. And so a good pickup for the Tigers.
Well, it looked like it might have been a trap play over here to the side, and then they tackled by the linebacker back in the backfield. In the defensive backfield.
So the Tigers will draw up a 2nd down and 6. With the ball on the 34-yard line on their side of the field. Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers to the near side. There's the snap. They're going to give it back to Tajay. He runs off to the left side, finds a little bit of room, and he's going to be really close to the first down. Let's see if they move the chains or if he's a little bit short.
I believe he's a little bit short, Matt. He's going to be about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards short.
They'll have the ball close to the 39-yard line with a 3rd down and short here for the Darlington Tigers, looking for a conversion. Trying to keep this drive going as some personnel changes occur here for Aquinas. Darlington runs back to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback's under center, I formation, 2 wide receivers. Middle, and it looks like they're going to get it and move the chains, but we'll see exactly where the spot is.
Very close. I think there's a quarterback sneak right straight up the middle.
And he got it.
Yeah. Nice call.
So the quarterback sneak for the first down for the Darlington Tigers, and they will get ready to line up with the ball just beyond the 40-yard line, edging towards getting on Aquinas' side of the field. They got 10 yards to go before they can get on that side of the field. Two wide receivers to the far side, one to the near. Darlington's working left to right. Man goes in motion. There's the snap. They're going to hand it to Tajay Watley. Goes off to the left side. Picks up a good chunk of yards, probably 6 when all is said and done. And that brings up second down and 4 or 5 here for Darlington.
Really running well. A lot of misdirection in Darlington's backfield. A lot of fakes, and Tajay gets it off tackle. He's really running well. He's got to continue this. Like I say, he's got to get 100 yards for Darlington to win tonight.
Ball's on the 45-yard line. Darlington's still on their side of the field with it. They're trying to work their way on the other side. Second down and 5. They'll line up with a wide receiver on each side of the formation. A couple of men back in the field with Griffin Brewster. The sophomore quarterback's going to pitch it to Tajay. He gets hit, and then he dives forward and gets it close to the 50-yard line before he's going to be brought down around midfield. So he's going to be short of the first down, but that was some great extra effort after contact for Tajay.
Well, that was sort of a toss sweep from the shotgun. It's I haven't seen it work like that. It's just like a 3-foot throw, but it was definitely a toss out there to him. Stopped at the line and managed to twist and get there, and now they're 2 yards from the first down.
So it's going to bring up third down and a long one here for the Darlington Tigers. Everybody in tight in this power I formation. Griffin Brewster under center takes the snap, gives it to Tajay. Does he get it? I believe he does. He's going to be dropped close to the 49-yard line on Aquinas side of the field, and depending on the spot, I'm pretty sure he got it. Maybe a little
really
short.
Close. I bet they're going to have to measure this one.
I think you're right. Yep, they're going to bring out the chains and measure this one. And like you say, it's really close. And we've got a bird's eye view. We're going to be able to tell as soon as they bring it out.
We are, for one of the few times in our broadcasting life, we are dead on the 50-yard line, up high. Nobody's any higher than us, and nobody's closer to the 50 than we are. This is a great view tonight. Looks
really
like you
is.
got it from here.
Let's see when they stretch out the chains, but I'm with you. I really think he got it. Yeah, he got it by about a half a football length.
Well, that was closer than I thought it was when they came out there with it. But first time Darlington's been on the other side of the 50 tonight, except for that turnover that they got on the punt.
That is true. They picked up 4 first downs. They started this drive on their own 4-yard line after a good punt from Aquinas and their punter, Crimmins Hankinson, who's done a great job. He's pinned Darlington to their own 4 twice off of this game in consecutive drives. Wide receiver on each side of the formation. Darlington working from left to right, leading at 7-0 with 7 minutes and change left here in the first half. They're going to hand it off to Carl Swiger. Man, for the Darlington
as a sniffer back and allowed Carl to go right up the middle. Just a nice run and a nicely blocked play.
Darlington running a little tempo here. They're going to hand it off quickly, give it back to Carl Swiger. He's going to be brought down at the 38-yard line, so a very, very short gain for Darlington there on that first down play.
Well, that was the same play. They still had Kellen in there, and he came over and tried to seal that man that time, and Carl had to bounce it outside that time, not able to get through the hole, and they stopped him pretty quick, about a yard gain.
Offensive line tonight for Darlington: Tate Ratledge, Jacob Daniel, Elijah Ball, Colin Cesaro, and Austin Rogers doing a great job trying to create some holes up front for Darlington to run the football. 1 wide receiver on each side of the formation. The sniffer is in. Tajay Watley's in the backfield. There's the snap. They're going to fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to throw a pass. It is complete to Carl Swiger. Catches it about the 28-yard line. Breaks a couple of tackles. There is a flag that's on the field, so we'll see what that is. But what a great play by the Darlington Tigers.
Well, nicely designed play. They faked that give over there, and they had that sniffer coming over to seal that side over there, and Griffin kept rolling out, and Carl Swiger was in the flats all by himself. Ineligible receiver downfield, so it's coming back.
Well, it looked pretty, but the result is not going to be what Darlington was hoping for out of that wonderful play, and like you say, it's coming back. So here comes the officials to march this one off after the penalty.
Well, that's a 5-yard penalty, and they marked it they threw the flag about 10 yards downfield. I don't know who he was throwing it on, but if one of those linemen was down that far, he was definitely downfield.
So that'll remain second down, and it'll bring up second down and 12 here for the Darlington Tigers as they end up for this next play. They'll send 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. 1 man in the backfield here with Griffin Brewster, the quarterback, who takes snap. He's going to throw a screen pass out the left side, and it'll be connected, but he's going to be pushed out of bounds. There's a flag that comes in after the late hit. A couple more flags come in, so Darlington's going to get some help from Aquinas on that play.
Well, that was a good form tackle by the guy. He lifted him up, had good position on him, and took him out of bounds. Then he made a mistake of throwing him when he got him out of bounds. So that's going to be personal foul, 15 yards, and first down for Darlington.
7-0. Darlington leads it with 5:39 left here in our first half. Stay tuned because the Steak and Shake halftime show comes up. Of course, the Boo Birds come out, but hey, the official, that's the call he's got to make on that play, huh?
Well, if he'd done it inside the field of play, it wouldn't have been that penalty, but he got him out of bounds and threw him. So first down, Darlington. There, other than that bad snap on the punt, this is their deepest penetration of the night.
First down and 10 from the 25-yard line in Aquinas territory. Shotgun formation, 2 out on the far side, 2 on the near. They're going to fake the handoff. It's play action, passes towards the end zone, and it's a little bit over his hands. The wide receiver was Jacob Hunt. He was close to being open, and it looked like it could have been a touchdown play, but couldn't quite reach out and get his hands around the football to make the play.
Well, he was pretty well covered on that. If he had caught it, that would have been a spectacular catch. He went up there and tried to get it. We've seen Jacob make those catches this year, but just a little overthrown by him. That was Jacob in the slot and just came down on a skinny post and just over his hands by just the smallest amount.
2 wide receivers to the near side. Here's the snap. They're going to give it to Tajay Watley. Finds a seam, stays up, breaks a couple of tackles. He's inside the 15 down to the 14. That was a pickup of 9 yards there for the Darlington Tigers. Or excuse me, 11 yards, I should say.
Now, stopping the clock. That's first down. First down. Sure this angle didn't look like it, but first down, Darlington at the 15. A good place to have first down because you can get a first down without having to score.
The Darlington lines up. Actually, I believe the ball's nose is right on the 14.
I believe you're right.
2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Griffin Brewster has them lined up in shotgun formation. They go back to Tajay Watley, runs it off to the left side, and he might have got a yard or 2 out of the play, so not a lot there for the Tigers on first down.
Well, trying to get inside that tackle over there out on the left side of Darlington's offensive line, they did a good job of fighting off those blocks and just not giving him anywhere to go. Just a yard pickup is all he was able to get out of that.
So they'll go back to the drawing board here on second down and 9 with the ball on the Aquinas 14 in the red zone. Griffin's going to be under center here for this play, offset I formation. There's the snap. They're going to pitch it to Tajay Watley. Goes out to the left side. Can he get the edge? He's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. And so that's going to be a pretty decent pickup there on second down for Darlington.
Well, good pickup, but it looked like he had a lot more. Aquinas did a good job of that man sliding out there and fighting off that block and keeping him away from the end zone that time. A big third down right here.
Ball is going to be just inside the 10 at the 9. Red zone drive here for the Darlington Tigers, who already lead at 7-0 playing on the road. 4:35 left, first half. Griffin Brewster lines him up, shotgun formation. Carl Swiger in the backfield. 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side of the formation. Here comes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Carl Swiger, go right up the gut with this play, and he's going to be stopped almost immediately. That was good defense there by that front group of the Aquinas Fighting Irish.
Darlington's line not able to get any movement on the Aquinas defensive line. It's going to bring up 4th and 4. We'll see what Darlington does here.
Looks like they're going to run a play here on 4th down.
Yep, they're holding up the card on the side with a play.
Griffin Brewster rolls up under center. It's 4th down and 4 with the ball on the 10. Here comes the snap. He looks off the sidelines, and they're going to call a timeout. Looks like they were just trying to draw them off sides. But we're going to take a timeout as well, as Darlington does. It's 7-0. A 4th down play coming up here with 3:58 left in the first half. We'll step out for 30 seconds. It is 4th down and 4 here for the Darlington Tigers. They lead at 7-0. 3:58 left first half. They've got the ball. And so let's see what they do here on 4th down, Eddie.
Well, they've got Wipeout playing over the PA system here. I don't know if that's pleasing with Darlington to do that. Darlington comes out. They're going to kick it.
Yes, indeed they are. And so where this is going to be marked, it's going to be a 26-yard field goal attempt here for Alex Little. And the hold will be handled by Ian Payne. The kick is up. It's got the leg. Is it through? Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be, again, a 26-yard field goal for the Darlington Tigers. They go up 10-0 first half.
Well, good kick by Alex. That would have been good from a lot farther out. Matter of fact, he kicked it into their tailgate area that they've got set up behind the end zone over here.
So, with 3:53 left here in the first half, Darlington goes up 10-0. After an 18-yard touchdown run from Watley on their second drive. That was with 5:23 left in the first quarter. And now with 3:53 left here in the half, a 26-yard field goal from Alex Little puts them up 10-0. That was a good drive. Obviously, they wanted to get the 7 out of it, but I think it's a win for Darlington to get the 10 points here in the first half and be up 10-0 playing here on the road in Augusta.
It's good to be up. That drive started on the 4-yard line. Was that right, Matt? 90-yard drive.
That's pretty unbelievable. Anytime you start on your own 4-yard line, and
well, that's flipping the field when you can drive it from the 4. And it looks like Alex is going to pooch it again.
And here's the kick, and this time it's going to drop in around the 30-yard line.
Fumble.
It's going to be bobbled. It's picked up, and running the ball is going to be number 19, Michael Brown Jr. He's running down the sidelines, has a good block. He's inside the 25. He gets it all the way down close to the 15-yard line on that kick return. It looked like it was going to be a disaster, and now they're in the red zone.
Well, he dropped it and then picked it up, and as it so often happens, everybody holds up for just a brief second, and there he goes, took off with it, and came really, really close to running that in for a touchdown.
They're going to start on the 16-yard line in the red zone to begin this drive. Obviously the best field position anybody's had in this game. And Darlington's up 10-0, but unless they can really pin their ears back on defense right here, that lead may not last very long. Shotgun formation, Paul in at quarterback. John Paul, they got 2 wide receivers to the near side, one to the far side. That they start on their own 16. They're going for it on the first play, and it's going to be almost intercepted. It was intended for number 24. That's going to be Bradley White. He goes up to try to catch the pass, tips it, and one of the defenders there for Darlington almost got his arms around it.
Thought he was going to come down with it. He laid out to get it. That was Casey Gunn, I think. Was that 28?
Yep,
yeah,
that's right.
Casey Gunn laid out for it. Almost had it. That would have been a big turnover, but it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 from the 16 now.
So Aquinas goes back to the drawing board with 2 wide receivers to the near side, one to the far. They're working from right to left. 2nd down and 10 from the 16. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to tuck and run, and he is going to be dropped around the 15-yard line, maybe picked up a yard or 2, but that's going to bring up 3rd down. So far, so good for the Darlington defense.
Well, and he was looking to that was an option there, and the pitch man was covered, and he had no choice but go into the line where they shut him down right away.
3rd down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup. Ball on the 15-yard line in the red zone here for Aquinas after a humongous kick return that set up this drive. They're going to send 3 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near, and an empty backfield for the quarterback. Man goes in motion. The quarterback's going to throw a pass towards the left side. It's intercepted by the Darlington Tigers. Running down the sidelines is going to be number 37. That is going to be Rhett McDermott, who made a great play, and Darlington's going to be able to pick him off and get the ball back.
Well, that's a big, huge turnover.
And here late in the first half, Darlington already up 10-0 with 2:49 left here in the half. They get the ball back after the Rhett McDermott interception.
Well, Rhett's linebacker and dropped back into coverage there. I don't think John Paul ever saw him. He had a man looked open, and Rhett just stepped in front of the ball, made the interception.
Darlington's going to line up on their own 44-yard line with pretty decent field position here to begin this drive here late in the first half. They're going to send a wide receiver here to the near side. And that is going to be Casey Gunn. Couple off to the left side. Man lined up in the slot. Griffin Brewster has them lined up in shotgun formation. Here comes the snap. They're going to hand it to Carl Schweiger, but a flag comes in. And that is going to be...
It's going to be a legal procedure against Darlington.
False start. That's going to drop him back 5 yards there on first down. So that's going to set up first down and 15 for the Tigers. What a great play by Rhett McDermott. That is amazing.
Stepped in there. Good call on coverage by Kevin Hunt that time to have him drop back into coverage. Like I said, I don't think John Paul ever saw him when he threw the ball.
44-yard line. Excuse me, I should say 39-yard line. First down and 15. Darlington Tigers wide receiver to the far side, one to the near. Work left to right. There's the snap. They're going to get to Tajay Watley and run a sweep off to the left side. He finds some room to run, and he's going to get it down to the 38-yard line. A big pickup for Darlington and a first down.
Well, Jacob Hunt out there laid a nice block that set up that run and able to Tajay to get outside and turn that corner. Jacob was running out there ahead of him. Do we have a flag?
That's going to be...
Blindside block, that's what they call, I believe.
Holding on Darlington.
That's not what he signaled.
That's not what he signaled, no.
That's a new rule this year. You can't block a guy who's watching the ball. It takes away all those big blocks you see where guys lit up that you see on the highlight films. And that's just, you can't do that anymore. I don't know who did it. I didn't see it during the play, but
blindside block, as you mentioned, that brings him down to the 35-yard line and negates the big play, and that'll bring first down and a long way to go here for the Darlington Tigers. As we just mentioned, first down and 20. There's the snap. Quarterback's rolling out, looking to pass. Griffin Brewster on the run's got company, 2 guys on him. He's going to have to tuck and run. Took a long time for him to make the decision to do it, and I think the ball came out at the end of the play, but he was down.
He was well down. Coaches over there for Aquinas trying to lobby, but they're not going to get anywhere with that one. He was obviously down.
Ball on the 39-yard line. Darlington with a second down and 20 to go, or actually I should say 19 to go.
Come on, D!
Well, just need to get part of it here. Let's try to make third down manageable. You don't have to get it all here on second down.
Correction, 16 yards to go. 2 wide receivers to the far side. Darlington will line up shotgun formation. Leading at 10-0 here on the road in Augusta. There's the snap. Going to hand it to Tajay. He's brought down. A flag comes in.
Offsides, I think. No, they would have stopped the play if it was that.
Waiting on the official to signal towards the press box, and it looks like we're going to have a meeting of the minds before we see the official's call. Having a little bit of a discussion out there on the field. 10-0, Darlington leads it. We've got 1:32 left first half. The Steak and Shake halftime show is coming up here in just a matter of a couple of minutes. Looking forward to bringing that to you. Then after the game, as always, the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake here of the game. At halftime, we'll relay some scores to you from some other area games. I'm really happy that we've got a lot of local area teams still in the hunt. That's going to be a false start against Darlington after all is said and done.
Well, if it had been a false start, they would have stopped the play. I think that they call that a 5-minute in the backfield, I think was what they were calling there.
Here we go!
And nevertheless, it brings up third down. They don't have it right over there on the sticks, but there now they do. Third down and 16 here for the Tigers, or 21 I should say now. As they get ready to come back to line of scrimmage.
Now you have to get it all.
Indeed you do. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far. Griffin Brewster getting set to take the snap. Looks like we've got another flag.
Sideline warning, probably.
Darlington was having a hard time lining up again, it looked like, but Griffin Brewster runs over to talk with the coaches just a little bit.
Brent Bell was 10 yards out onto the field on the far side over there at Darlington, and somebody was lined up wrong.
Tommy is a little upset right now. He's getting pretty animated on the sidelines. All right. 1:32 left first half. It looks like he's waving it off.
Waving it off. Interesting. So we have no idea what they thought it was. We just know whatever it was, they decided it wasn't a penalty.
Well, Griffin Brewster brings them back to the huddle as the Darlington Tigers get ready for a third and a very long way to go here on this next play. They're going to send 2 wide receivers to the near side, actually 3. They got one lined up in the slot, one on the far side. Brewster taking the snap. He's going to roll off and hand it off and go the other way. It's a little bit of a misdirection play. Flag comes in. This one's going to come back. He gets down to the 35 before they haul him out of bounds. A lot of laundry on the field here late in this half.
I don't know.
It's going to be a holding call against Darlington after that play.
Well, that was an 80 draw. Darlington calls it and had them completely fooled. It's a shame to waste it on a play with a penalty.
So now Darlington's going to be back way up to the 29-yard line, where they'll mark off a penalty. And the Darlington Tigers will get ready to run a play. This is really slowed down to a snail's crawl. 1:23 left here in the first half. Darlington leading at 10-0. They're going to line up with 2 wide receivers to the near side. They'll line up with a couple to the far side. One of them line up in the slot is going to be Tajay Watley. In the backfield is Carl Swiger. Griffin Brewster, the quarterback in shotgun, takes the snap. They go up the middle. Big seam opens up for Swiger. He gets down across the 40-yard line down to the 41, and that was a big-time play right there.
We've got another flag on the play? Oh, timeout taken by.
All right, so I guess we'll take another one as well. 1:15 left first, 10-0. Darlington leads it. They got a third down play coming up, and we come back in 30 seconds. All right, Darlington's got 4th down and I believe 14 to go for the first down. They're going to have the ball at the 40-yard line as they get ready to line up here for this next play, and they're going to punt it away, of course. Tate Ratledge onto the field. You got one man back deep here for the Aquinas Fighting Irish, trailing at home to the Darlington Tigers, who've done a good job, but man, they have hit the penalty bug on this particular drive. Going to be a high kick, drops down at the 25-yard line. He'll signal the fair catch, and it's a good idea because he was going to get pummeled by about 4 Darlington Tigers.
Yeah, they were right there on him, wasn't it? Nice punt by Tate.
George Welch was the man that signaled the fair catch, and they're going to have the ball on their own 25-yard line to start this drive. 1:09
left to go in the half. Darlington playing conservative in that series. When they couldn't get a first down, they ran the ball to keep the clock moving as much as possible.
An 18-yard touchdown run from Tajay Watley with 5:23 left in the first quarter, and a 26-yard field goal from Little, and that's the only scoring the game. Darlington up 10-0. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. John Paul sends a man in motion from right to left. There's the snap. He's going to roll off to that right side, and it's going to put the ball in the air, throwing it out of bounds over the Darlington sidelines, bringing up 2nd down and 10.
I didn't see a receiver anywhere near him. I'm surprised they didn't call an intentional grounding there. He had nobody to throw to anyway. They've covered, and he just maybe thinking he's in college, out of the tackle box, going to throw it away.
2nd down and 10 from the Aquinas 25. They're trailing Darlington, playing at home 10-0. Three wide receivers to the far side, one to the near. There's the snap. Dropping back, it's going to be Paul. He throws a screen pass. They're able to catch it, and he's going to bring it down to the 32-yard line. A big pickup there of about 7 yards for Aquinas on that play. That was a good play.
That was a good defense by Tajay that time. He was in man coverage, and that guy went inside to catch that little inside pass, and Tajay stayed with him and got a hand on him.
Flag came in just as they snapped the ball on that.
It's going to be a illegal procedure on Aquinas.
So it'll be a 5-yard penalty against Aquinas, setting up a 3rd down and 9. And we've got 41 seconds left here, first half, as we're getting ready to be entertained by the marching band of Aquinas here at halftime. Looking forward to that. It looks like they got a pretty small band, which is not a surprise. It's a pretty
single
small
A school. Yeah, you don't expect a band, especially at a private school. Lots of them don't even have a band.
Trips to the far side, 2 wide receivers to the near side. Man goes in motion, empty backfield for John Paul. He's going to throw a screen pass out to the right side to the wide receiver, who breaks a couple of tackles and came close to the first down. That was John Parrish, and a good play for Aquinas there on 3rd down.
Darlington just trying to keep it in front.
There's a flag that came in late in that play on the far side of the field.
Well, once again, we've got a board meeting of the striped shirts out there.
Seen a few of those in this game, haven't we, Eddie?
Yep, a lot of meetings.
It's going to be a holding that's going to go against Aquinas, so that play's coming back. That's a biggie right there.
Yep, Darlington will just take that. They just want to keep it away from there. They're down to 19 seconds left in the half.
So that's going to drop them back to the 19-yard line. The drive had started on the Aquinas 25. Steak and Shake halftime coming up in just a matter of seconds, folks. Looking forward to relaying to you what happened there in the first half, getting some scores from some other area teams playing in the playoffs tonight, and taking a little breather. Trips to the near side, 2 wide receivers, the far side, empty backfield. John Paul's going to run the football there, quarterback, and he runs it out of bounds with about 14 seconds. That'll stop the clock. But he didn't get a tremendous amount out of that play, setting up 4th down, and now they'll have to punt it away.
Well, that was a running play all the way, and he just didn't have anything out there. Darlington just strung it out to the sidelines. He didn't send any receivers from that side out.
So you'll see Crimmins Hankinson come on and punt it away here for Aquinas. 1 man back deep here for the Tigers. He's standing right around. Well, now he's going to move up to the 45-yard line.
Another bad snap.
Bad snap. He's going to pick it up and run the ball. The punter is. He's going to be dropped at the 18. Leaves 8 seconds on the clock, so Darlington's going to get a crack at it here, Eddie.
Should have at least time for another field goal. They've got 1 timeout left, so they've got time to run 1 quick play and call a timeout.
They've had 2 situations in this game that have really affected them in terms of snaps on the punts.
Well, both times the snappers didn't get it back there to the punter, and he had no choice this last time except to run forward with the ball.
8 seconds left, first half. Darlington gets the ball on the Aquinas 18 in the red zone. Griffin Brewster brings them to the huddle. They're going to try to get it towards the end zone. They're going to send a wide receiver here to the near side, 2 to the far side, shotgun formation. Brewster getting set to take the snap. 8 seconds. He's going to hand it off to Tajay Watley. Bounces off to the left side, cuts back in. He's down to the 10-yard line. 2 seconds left on the clock. A flag comes in.
Now. They threw it at an Aquinas player.
Going to be a personal foul against Aquinas.
So that's going to be half the distance added to the goal, because that was a dead ball foul. So Darlington's going to be even closer.
Yes, sir, they are. Another conference between the officials, or amongst the officials. Personnel change here for Aquinas. Is coming out onto the field is going to be number 34, Ferris Lowry. As J.P. Lambert checks out. And they're going to put the ball right at the 5-yard line. That's where Darlington's going to have it, but
Darlington just took their last. Yes, Darlington just took their last time out.
All right, since there's only 2 seconds on the clock, we're going to keep it right here until we get to halftime. We won't take any more timeouts until we get to that point, and we'll see what happens here with 2 seconds left and the ball again on the 5-yard line. And what would you do in this situation, Eddie?
I would kick it.
I would kick it as well. Take the points, be up 13-0 at halftime. And this has been a really good first half overall for Darlington. Obviously, here on this particular drive, you've seen a lot of penalties, or on the previous drive, I should say, and that's a point of difficulty for the team. But overall, to be on the road and have this kind of lead and after the first half is going to be just tremendous. And they will attempt the kick. This is going to be from the 13-yard line.
Yeah, I think Aquinas called timeout. They're going to try to ice
the kicker.
Timeout taken by the Irish.
So we're just going to keep it right here again. Glad you're with us on WLAQ AM 1410, or if you're listening on the live video stream tonight. And we're super glad to be here. We got college football coming up on our airwaves tomorrow as Alabama gets set to take on Mercer, the Bears. And, of course, Bobby Lamb is the head coach of the Mercer Bears. And obviously a lot of people, brother of the head coach of the Calhoun Yellow Jackets, Hal Lamb.
Well, Lambs don't lose many ball games, but
No.
I don't see Bobby making the upset tomorrow.
You don't think there's a chance?
I don't think there's a chance in the world.
Me either. I don't think anybody does.
I
But,
heard somebody talking on the radio there was a 0.047% chance, but I think that's unrealistic. There's no chance. There's just no chance.
Well, here come the Darlington Tigers after the timeout from Aquinas trying to ice the kicker. He's already made one from 26 yards. This is going to be a little bit closer there. And they're going to ice him again, looks like. Another timeout for Aquinas.
Well, that's the last one, so that.
Glad you're with us on WLAQ AM 1410, having a big time tonight here on the road in Augusta.
I always felt like for Aquinas, they had two timeouts there, and there's no point going to halftime with them because you can't carry him over, so you might as well try. You don't know if it'll ice him or not, but it doesn't hurt to try, and you've got him.
On our sister station, 95.7 The Ridge, coming up tomorrow, Georgia Tech goes on the road to play Duke in a game where really they should have the upper hand, but the problem with Georgia Tech this year is they have yet to win a game on the road. Every game they've won has been in the friendly confines of Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field, so hopefully they can pick up that elusive road win coming up tomorrow. I know you hope that isn't the case.
Always, yeah.
Just kind of like how I
Have they won a
enjoyed that
game?
Auburn game last weekend. Wow.
Have they
I wasn't going to
won
bring
a
it
game
up.
at home? I mean, have they lost a game at home?
They have.
Are they undefeated?
They're
at home?
undefeated at home, but they've lost every game on the road. Well, here is going to be the kick from the 13-yard line, so a 23-yard field goal attempt for Alex Little. The hold looks good. The kick is up, and it is going to be good.
Big points, 13-0 at half. Darlington and these coaches have done a masterful job so far in this game to be up 13-0 on Aquinas.
Indeed they have, and it is halftime again. That was a 23-yard field goal for Alex Little. The hold was from number 5, Ian Payne of the Darlington Tigers. Again, up 13-0 at halftime. What we're going to do now is send it back to the studio for a few minutes for a break, and then also get some scores from the Big Kahuna back in the studio. You're listening to Darlington Tiger football here tonight on WLAQ AM 1410 and on the video stream. The live video stream, Darlington 13, Aquinas 0. We're at halftime. Thank you very much. I think we just witnessed the world's smallest marching band there, Eddie.
But they were putting out a lot of noise, weren't they?
They
playing
really were.
A lot of music, not noise, a lot of music. Good job for them.
Really enjoyed it. Wouldn't be the same without it for sure. Darlington up 13-0 here at halftime on the road in Augusta here at Aquinas. And just to kind of recap the first half there, of course, the first score would happen with an 18-yard run from Tajay Watley after a short field was set up by a botched punt situation for Aquinas. They had some trouble with the snaps in punting situations a couple of times. It really hurt them. And an 18-yard run after a 37-yard drive for Darlington capped off that drive with a score. Darlington would go up 7-0 with 5:23 left in the first quarter. They would not score again until 3:53 left in the first half when Little kicked a 26-yard field goal to put Darlington up 10-0. And then they would score one more time, this time on the last play of the first half. It would be a, of course, 23-yard field goal for Alex Little, so he was able to kick a couple of field goals and good. And Darlington's up 13-0. Not a tremendous amount of offense for Aquinas there in that first half. They were unable to score. They did pick up a couple of first downs here or there, but not a lot of threat there in that first half, Eddie.
Well, Kevin Hunt has done a masterful job of preparing these Darlington for this game. They have just really shut down what is a pretty high-powered offense and beaten some good teams. They beat Calvary Day School out of Savannah, who's one of the better teams in the state, and
Washington Wilkes. They also beat Washington Wilkes.
And they have just shut them down so far. Just like, as I say, he's done a good job, called blitzes when they needed to be called, and had them set up. They've been in nickel package on defense most time because they generally put 5 receivers out there, so you have to have 5 backs out there. So they've done that. But they've just done a good job. They've put guys on the slot man in man formation and in cover 4 with the rest of the guys at times, and at times they put Tajay in man coverage on their fastest man on the outside, and just really haven't been able to get anything going with their passing game. John Paul down, who had 770 yards or 727 yards coming into tonight's game, and just really done a good job of shutting him down. They showed good lateral speed to cover out there when he runs those options or when he just runs those quarterback sweeps out there, and they've just been out there able to cover him, not letting him get outside, and just really look like a big-time defense where they've been able to run from sideline to sideline tonight.
Well, I tell you what, it's kind of interesting when you get to know the head coaches and you go talk to them and do pregame interviews and things of that nature and just be around the program. Sometimes when you go and talk to the coaches, they're always going to say positive things about how they feel they can perform in a game, but sometimes you can just tell that they feel genuinely confident about a matchup. And I got that sense from Tommy when I had the opportunity to catch up with him earlier in the week. He didn't come out and say that, but you could just kind of tell that he felt like they had a strong game plan for this team, that his team had a good week of practice, and that he felt like they could come here and perform well in this game if they executed right. And so far we've seen that happen. Obviously, he probably wishes that they didn't have some of the penalties they had, particularly late there in that first half. But at the end of the day, to be up 13-0 in the second round of the playoffs, playing 4 hours away from home on a long road trip in an environment like this, that is really huge for the Darlington Tigers, and they've been playing the best football here in this situation. That's what you want in November.
Yes, this is by far, I think, the best game I've seen them play all year, and I know it certainly looks better than that Whitfield game that you and I covered together. But they've just really done. They just really look big time on defense, which they did against Whitfield too. But the offense is taking up the slack, and of course, Aquinas has shot themselves in the foot twice with unforced errors, just bad snaps back to the punter that led to 7 points the first time and led to 3 points right at the end of the half to give Darlington a 13-0 lead.
No question. Well, we are at halftime here at Aquinas High School. We are in Augusta, Georgia. Super glad to be bringing you this football game tonight, and also equally as happy, or more happy, I should say, that Darlington is up 13-0 at halftime. But there, of course, is still 24 minutes to play of this football game, so a lot can happen in the second half. And I will also point out that Aquinas won toss to begin the game, they would defer to the second half, and so they'll have the opportunity to put their offense out on the field as we resume play. Well, what we're going to do now is send it back to the studio for another timeout and hear some words from our sponsors, because without them, we would not be here to bring the game to listeners, and so we certainly appreciate them. And if you're out and about in the community and, you know, in county or any of the fine sponsors that we have on these games, make sure to thank them for sponsoring it, because obviously, as I pointed out, if we didn't have the sponsors, we wouldn't be able to get down here and do these games, and so we really, really appreciate it. But again, Darlington up 13-0 over Aquinas. We got 8 minutes left of halftime. We're going to send it back to the studio for another break. We'll come back with more commentary on the Steak and Shake halftime show when we come back on WLAQ AM 1410. Thank you very much, Big Kahuna. 3:27 left here in our halftime period, and then obviously they'll put the 3-minute mandatory warm-up period on the clock. So we've got about 6 minutes or so until we actually begin the second half. Darlington up 13-0, and one of the things that we just observed, of course, it's a very small campus here at Aquinas, and so the Darlington Tigers, their locker room is back behind us somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where, but they were just about to come back towards the field, and they were right behind us. And man, let me tell you, Eddie, they were back there getting all fired up, and they're ready to get back on this field, aren't they?
They're ready to play right now. I don't think they would have left the field at the end of the first half if they didn't have to. They were ready to play out there. I tell you, we've been watching. We watched the band play, and now Aquinas' kicker is out there putting on quite a show. He's booming, and I hope it doesn't come down to a battle of field goals because he's a strong kicker, isn't he?
Yes, he really is. And, I mean, obviously we know that the threat of this team is still there, even though they didn't perform at an extremely high level in that first half. But at the end of the day, you got to give a lot of credit to this Darlington defense. They were pretty much lights out there in that first half. We did have the situation, of course, where Aquinas had the short field, and they came up with a big stop there. And
well,
really,
you can't say too much about Rhett McDermott's interception that he made on that play. That was just a big play and did a lot to kill the momentum. And that last 3 points we got there to make it 13-0 is so big because Aquinas is just getting the ball to start the second half. And you just need every point. And Darlington went in with a little extra momentum after that kick by Alex Little.
Yes, sir, they sure did. So, again, the winner of this game will play the winner of the Whitfield Prince Avenue Christian game, which is going on tonight. And, man, I know you didn't hear it down the line because I'm the only person right now that's got an earbud listening into the studio when they're giving the score. So I'll run those down one more time so you can get the opportunity to hear them, Eddie. But definitely a surprise here. Right now, Blessed Trinity at halftime is up over Cartersville, 14-7. I know Blessed Trinity's a good football team, but I wouldn't figure there's anybody in the state that can hang with the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes. But right now, Blessed Trinity is doing a good job against them. That one surprises me. Marist is over Cedartown at halftime, narrowly though by 1 point, 7-6. So Cedartown really hanging in there on that tough road game. You've got Callaway over Rottmark, 28-21. Battle going on there. Rome will have a running clock in the second half. They're up 49-0 over Southwest DeKalb. My dad asked me earlier on his morning show, what do you think Rome's going to do today? And I said, what do you think they're going to do? And we both basically said at the same time, I think they're going to kick some tail in this game like they always do. It was Calhoun right now at halftime over Monroe area, 21-7. And then Pepperell having a hard time with Hertford County. They're a good football team, 28-13. That game is on the road. So that's your scores that we've got right now at halftime. Any surprises there to you, Eddie?
Well, Blessed Trinity being that close, being ahead of Cartersville, Blessed Trinity even being close to Cartersville is a shock to me. Now, I'm not as aware of other teams, so I don't know how good Blessed Trinity is, but that's quite a shocker. That's not Rome. That's what I would have expected out of Rome. Calhoun, you expect that out of Calhoun. Pepperell with Heard County, I know that is a tough thing. Darlington and played them there, and they've got that quarterback, and I can't remember his name.
Emory Jones,
who is committed to Ohio State, and he is pretty good. He really was the death knell for Darlington in that game. He can run, he can throw. He's really we expected him to be a great runner, but he's really a good passer.
Well, man, we've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds until toe meets leather in the second half. Aquinas won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they'll get the ball trailing the Darlington Tigers, who after a half on top, 13-0. Hopefully they'll be able to add to that and take control of this game here in the second half and put it away and head back home with a victory and get ready for the next round of the playoffs, which would be the quarterfinals. But we'll see what happens. A whole half to play, and we'll get to bring it to you here live on WLAQ when we come back after a quick minute-and-a-half break on WLAQ. We are back live at Aquinas High School. We are in Augusta, Georgia, just about set to begin the second half of play. Darlington up 13-0, facing a number 4 seed that got a bye in the first round on the road. And man, it was all Darlington Tigers in that first half. Hopefully we're going to see more of the same in the second half. Both teams are ton of energy on both sidelines. The fans are on their feet ready for the beginning of this second half, and it's going to be an interesting half, no doubt about it. Of course, Darlington travels pretty well, so they've got a big crowd on hand on the opposing side, which is on the opposite side from us, and then a big crowd on hand tonight for Aquinas. It's a rocking atmosphere, as you can probably hear in the crowd, Mike. The ball is teed up by Alex Little. He'll kick it off to the Aquinas Fighting Irish, and we are ready to go.
Be trying to kick it deep this time.
We'll see. Ball's teed up at the 40-yard line. Runs towards it, kicks it deep, as you mentioned, and it is going to drop in at the 8-yard line. Will be brought out. He's going to run it off the left side, bounces out to the outside, is nearly pulled out of bounds, but he cuts back up inside. Now he's running off to the far side, and he's going to run down to the 40-yard line. Still running. I keep hearing a whistle. We got a flag here over on the sidelines. The return man was Cam Brenson.
We had a Darlington player, that was Rhett McDermott, standing 20 yards back behind the bench over here. And then the referee threw a flag. I have no idea what that is. I don't know why they stopped the play. It didn't look like he stepped out of bounds.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't. We had a good vantage point on that.
Now they brought the flag out to the hash, near the hash mark, and dropped it.
Officials having another discussion. They've had a lot of meetings tonight. But that was a big return for Aquinas, but it looks like it could be coming back as the officials continue their discussion. We've had some strange occurrences in this game so far.
I don't think they'll try that deep kick again if they can't get it in the end zone, because I don't want to see that guy touch the ball anymore. He is a shifty runner.
He really is. 5'10", 175. Talking about Cam Brenson. And he's a junior this year for Aquinas. Officials still meeting right there at around the 37-yard line and sorting things out. A few of the Darlington players standing around listening to the discussion. And we still have not received the signal here from the officials yet.
I have no idea.
Just underway in the second half. Darlington up 13-0. Hope you enjoyed the Steak and Shake halftime show. And, of course, at the end of the game, we'll have the Steak and Shake postgame, as well as award the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game, which is always a lot of fun. And I have to tell you, yesterday was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
And my wife brought me a Honeymoon Bakery strawberry cake. And I have to say, it was probably the best cake I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Of course, every time I get one from there, I say the same thing because they're so good. And I still got some left at home that I'll probably have when I get back.
Well, now we've got a meeting with the Aquinas coach, and we've got two coaches over there on meeting with Tommy Ather right now. So I really can't imagine what is going on at the moment.
Well, hopefully we'll have an explanation and a little resolution coming up in a few minutes. And, you know, right now as they're discussing with the coaches, I can tell that Tommy Atha is getting kind of emphatic with his hand movements and everything, getting into this discussion with the officials. And now he's kind of leaning over, and I don't think he's enjoying their explanation for the situation.
Seem happy. The Aquinas coach didn't.
From the body language, you don't get the impression
foul
he agrees.
Against Aquinas. But I don't know why they stopped. Run, but personal foul against Aquinas was the signal.
They'll have it at their own 25-yard line as we just begin the second half with Darlington leading 13-0. John Paul, the quarterback for Aquinas. They did a pretty good job keeping him at bay in that first half.
First and 10 for the Irish.
So first and 10 here for the Fighting Irish. And And soon we'll begin playing football again, which I think is what everybody here is ready for, including us, huh, Eddie?
I'm running out of things to say quickly here if we don't get something going on out here.
Well, we can go back and talk more about that Honeymoon Bakery cake that I had.
Strawberry cake you had.
And I had some for breakfast this morning also.
And you didn't bring any for your broadcast partner, I noticed.
Now I feel guilty. Shotgun formation here on first down from the 25. They're going to flip it to the right side and get a pretty good run out of number 18. That's going to be Charlie Davis. Pick up about 6 yards on that play on the toss.
That was a long strung out option. That was just an option, almost a forward pass. The trailing back was so far out there. It was almost in front of him, and I believe that was Elijah Ball out there making the tackle. Long run to the side.
2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. 2nd down and 6. After the pickup of 4, quarterback's going to run it. He gets it to the 30-yard line, so a pickup of maybe a yard or 2. And good defense again from Darlington.
Well, Rhett McDermott came in from his linebacker position, and again, John Paul ran looking for an opening inside and cut inside, and Rhett McDermott met him and stopped him dead right there on the 31-yard line. So
back to the drawing board goes Aquinas with 3rd down and 5 coming up here from their own 30, working right to left, trailing Darlington 13-0, just underway with the second half. 3 wide receivers here to the left. Quarterback's going to run it, and he's going to pick up maybe 2 yards, and then there'll be a pile, a little bit of a scrum, and I don't think he got the first down, Eddie. Not even close.
Well, he's close. He may have had it.
Well, yeah, he's closer than I thought he was, but I still think he's got a first down. Wow. So that'll be a fresh set of downs here for Aquinas, and they'll get it out to the 35-yard line. Working right to left in their own side of the field. They'll send 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. Running back in the backfield with the quarterback, John Paul. They're going to hand it off. Nope, they're going to fake it and run a screen pass out to left side, and they get a guy open in space. That's going to be number 4, John Parrish, who's on the opposite side of the field down to the 40. That was a big play. Fans got a little excited over here. I don't know if there was some extracurricular activity they saw or what, but no flag came in.
I'm not sure. I think they're just begging for a flag.
So first down for the Fighting Irish. They're going to get the ball down to the 56-yard line on Darlington's side of the field. They trail playing at home 13-0 to Darlington. Quarterback is now going to be at a wide receiver position. Joseph Douglas in at quarterback. He takes a snap, will run straight ahead, finds a seam, stays up, going up the middle of the field. That's going to be a 46-yard run for a touchdown for the Aquinas Fighting Irish. And I think this guy next to me is about to lose his mind. He may fall off the press box. 46-yard touchdown run for Aquinas.
Well, just right up the middle. I don't know if that was a trap on Elijah Ball or what, or I mean Tate Ratledge or what, but he just pretty well untouched up through the middle.
So with 9:56 I should say left here in the third quarter, Aquinas scores on a 46-yard run from Douglas, and here comes the extra point attempt. It is up and right through the uprights for Crimmins Hankinson. That's going to make it 13-7. That'll cut that lead more than in half.
Well, that's why that field goal there at the end was so big.
So 13-7 your score in favor of Darlington, and now Aquinas will get set to kick it back off to the Darlington Tigers. And in this situation, I think that it is just imperative that Darlington have a good drive on this first drive of theirs here for the second half.
Yeah, it would. They could take all this momentum away from Aquinas by coming back and scoring right here.
So the home team tonight, Aquinas, playing here in Augusta, gets a touchdown on a big play, 46-yard touchdown run for a man that you knew was dangerous, Joseph Douglas. He's the leading rusher here for this team. And it was a snap to him. Obviously, he was in at quarterback on that particular play and just ran it up the middle, found a seam, and ran it all the way in for a touchdown. He's a pretty big kid, too, Douglas is.
And fast.
6'2", he's 200 pounds. And like you mentioned, super fast. Crimmins Hankinson to kick it away here for Aquinas, now only trailing 13-7. Tajay Watley's towards the end zone at the 3. He's going to bring it out. He gets it out to the 20, cuts it up to the middle of the field. Nobody can bring him down. He's out across the 30, down to close to the 32 before they're able to get him down. So a good return there for Tajay.
Nice return by Tajay. Took it here on the right-hand side of the field over here close to us and just ran it and then cut it back to the middle.
So Darlington will come back to the line of scrimmage on the 32-yard line on their side of the field as they get ready for their first drive here of the second half. First drive was successful here in the second half for Aquinas. Got their first score of the game on a big play. Shotgun formation, sniffer backs in. Two wide receivers to the far side, one to the near. Darlington working left to right. They're going to hand it off to Tajay Watley. Actually on the Wildcat snap. He's running down the sidelines, the 30, the 20, the 15, 10, 5. He gets it down close to about the 3-yard line before they force him out of bounds and save the touchdown. But we talked about answering the bell, Eddie. Well, that's answering the bell.
That's a good answer. It's going to be first and goal at the 4-yard line now for Darlington. That was a nifty run by Tajay just on his he was the single back there in that Wildcat, what they call it. He put a running back there to receive the snap, and he just ran to his right and just took off down there and outran, and they were lucky to get one guy down there to knock him out of bounds to keep him from scoring.
So it's first and goal, Tigers from the 4-yard line, 13-7. That definitely quieted down the folks here on this side of the field for Aquinas. Going to line up in their power set with Griffin Brewster under center, Tajay Watley in backfield. There's a snap. They're going to give it to nope, fake it. They're rolling out to the left side. Quarterback's going to tuck and run in the end zone. Touchdown. Darlington Tigers score on the 4-yard run, and they will tack on their first touchdown of the half. So that is answering the bell, the definition of it.
Well, Griffin took that snap and rolled out to his left, and they had a man trailing in the end zone. Looked like he was open, but he also had the run open, and man hit him at the 2-yard line, but he managed to roll over into the end zone for a big touchdown.
Little on to try to tack on the extra point. The hold will be handled by Ian Payne. There's the snap. The kick is up, and it is good. And Darlington is back to a 13-point lead just like that, 20-7.
Well, 9 minutes and 8 seconds, not a whole lot going here in third quarter. And Darlington is maintaining that 13-point lead.
Pretty unbelievable. Aquinas scored on a 46-yard touchdown run from Douglas. And then Darlington comes out. They get the ball on their own 32 after a good return from Tajay Watley. Then he comes up with a big running play after a Wildcat snap. Got it all the way down to the 3-yard line. And then, of course, Griffin Brewster runs off to the left side and then punches it in for the touchdown. And 27.
Yeah, he ought to be getting close to 100 yards. He's really been a factor in this game. Really been the difference for Darlington over Aquinas.
So Darlington again up 20-7. 9:08 remaining here in the third quarter. And we will see them kick it back off to Aquinas. We've seen 2 scores before we've had 3 minutes elapsed here in this third quarter. The team's having some big plays here to start the half. Now Lil's got it teed up at the 40, gets ready to kick it back off. Takes several steps back.
Yeah, looks like he's going to kick it deep again.
It does look like that.
Don't kick it to number 5, whatever you do, Alex.
No, never. Here comes the kick. It's going to be off towards the corner and to number 5. He fields it at the 12-yard line, runs it upfield to the 30. He's going to get it all the way down to the 34 before they can bring him down. He comes up with another pretty big return.
Yes, and we don't get a personal foul this time to knock it back to the 25, but it seems to be like a magnet over there to number 5. Can't keep it away from him.
So Aquinas has their offense back out onto the field. John Paul, the quarterback, comes back from the sidelines with the play call, brings his team to the huddle. They'll break the huddle quickly, run back to the line of scrimmage. They've got the ball on the 34-yard line on their side of the field, working from right to left. They'll send trips to the far side, one wide receiver here to the near side. Douglas in the backfield. They're going to fake the handoff to Douglas. Quarterback throws a screen pass to the far side. Number 24, a flag comes in. The receiver called it. That was Bradley White. But let's see what this flag's going to be, Eddie.
That's the referee on this near side. I'm not. I'm in a defensive holding area.
Yep. Well, it's going to be on the offense. Holding on Aquinas.
And it's going to be from the previous spot, so that's going to make 1st and 20 for Aquinas. So we bring them back to their 24-yard line. We didn't get the personal foul on the kickoff, but we did get a holding call on the first play from scrimmage.
The ball again on the 24-yard line here for Aquinas with 1st down and 20, as you pointed out.
And go that diamond. Nope. There goes Paul back to the middle.
It looked like they were going to, but
they are in the Wildcat again.
They'll send trips here to the left side. And
Paul out wide to the right.
There's a snap to Douglas, and this time the defense stuffs it.
Not nearly as good as the last time.
Not even close. He's going to take well, he got about a yard, but that sets up 2nd down and 19.
But I don't blame him. I would have tried that again too.
Coming with the play call from the sidelines is Michael Brown Jr. They're going to line up here with 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Regular quarterback John Paul back in at his position. In the backfield is Douglas. He's going to go in motion. They'll throw a screen pass to him out here on the flat. He's going to pick it up and get it out across the 30-yard line. That brings up a 3rd down and still about 12 or 13 yards to go. Flat comes in late.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like it was an Aquinas man holding the Darlington player over here, but that late call, I'm not sure what that is.
I'm waiting on the official's call. And where we're situated is kind of interesting. We're near an airport. What did you say the name of that airport is?
Daniels Field.
So as we're calling the game, you can look around and see all kind of planes taking off and landing all around us. That's pretty neat. It'll be against Darlington, a personal foul. That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Well, that's probably going to give them a 1st down.
Yeah, they had, I think, 1st and 14 to go, so should.
Yep. There are no automatic 1st downs in high school.
It's going to put them just shy of the 47-yard line. Still in their own territory with 1st down and 10 coming up. Darlington leads at 20-7. 7:44 remains 3rd quarter. They're going to send 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. John Paul in at quarterback. He has the sniffer, Douglas, there on the left side of the formation. Quarterback's going to run. He was there to block, and they're going to bring him down at the 45. So if he got anything, it wasn't a whole lot.
Not a lot. Elijah Ball led the tacklers on that time and just not letting him get anywhere, and had some help coming in to put him down. So they actually lost a yard, it looks like, or half a yard.
That brings up 2nd down and close to 11 here for Aquinas. They'll send 2 wide to the far side, 2 to the near, working right to left. Here on this 2nd down play, John Paul takes the snap, rolling out, looking to pass, has a pretty decent pocket, puts it up the middle of the field, and it's going to be incomplete to the wide receiver, Michael Brown Jr. He was fairly open. It looked like he had an opportunity to make a great play, but he couldn't hang on.
Well, post pattern, and he broke open, and Paul didn't throw the ball long enough, just short, not able to come down with a catch. It was close, though. He almost came down with it.
He really did. So that brings up 3rd down and 11 here for Aquinas. They're going to send 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 on the near. In the backfield is going to be Douglas. Paul getting ready, it is Douglas. Paul gets ready to take the snap. He changes the play at the line of scrimmage, but the formation stays exactly the same. There's the snap. They give it to Douglas, and he is going to be stuffed. What a great play by Darlington, and Tate Ratledge coming in, putting the hit.
Just shut him down. That's going to lose another yard. They're going to bring up 4th and about 12.
So the punt team is back on here for Aquinas. It's going to be Crimmins Hankinson punting it away. And back deep for Darlington is going to be Casey Gunn.
Casey Gunn deep for the Tigers.
So the Tigers are going to get the ball back. They scored their only drive of the half so far. Here's the kick from Hankinson. Fair catch is signaled. It'll be fielded at the 28-yard line. He's able to hang on.
Well, Darlington set up, and except for that one long run on a Wildcat. That's Darlington has really held them even. That the other 2 times they've had the ball, they've done a good job of holding them in check.
Yeah, you know, you've seen Darlington a lot more than me this year, but every time I've seen them, they've played excellent defense. They've had a couple of times where I've seen them this year where it was hard to get that offense going and getting in rhythm and kind of shooting themselves in the foot. But, man, that defense has been stout all year.
They have.
Darlington back to the line of scrimmage now to start their second drive of the half. They're up 20-7. Shotgun formation with 3 wide receivers to the far side. They're going to hand it off and come up with a big chunk of yards there on first down. That's Colin Rogers. Is that the first carry he's had tonight?
It's the first carry tonight. It's not. We've seen Colin run the ball. Matter of fact, I think in that Whitfield game he reeled off a bunch of yards. Never could get the ball in to score, but he was a real dependable runner for Darlington.
Grandson of John Brown. I was talking to him earlier today. He's here at the game tonight. Always good to see him. 2 wide receivers to the far side. Everybody else is in tight for this formation. In the backfield is Carl Swiger with Griffin Brewster, the quarterback. He takes the snap, gives it to Swiger. They're going to run a sweep to the left side. Can he find some room to run? Not a lot there, but he does eke out a couple of yards.
A yard or two. Aquinas did a good job of stringing that play out like that and just never could get around the corner.
So that brings up 3rd down and 3 here.
So they've got Tajay back in the game now.
36-yard lines where Darlington's got it on their side of the field. Big 3rd down coming up. 1 wide receiver on each side of the formation. Couple tight ends and a sniffer. And as you mentioned, Tajay Watley in the backfield. They'll snap it directly to him. He runs off the left side. Had a hard time handling the snap, and that delayed his run and got the defense an opportunity to get in there and make a stop. So that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that was an interesting play. Looked as if they were looking to the sideline to get it and then snapped it. And but Aquinas was having none of it.
Tate Ratledge in the punt here for the Darlington Tigers. 1 man back deep here for the Irish. George Welch is his name. He's standing right around the 32-yard line. Here's the kick from Ratledge. High flying kick. It drops in at the 25, and he's going to signal a fair catch. And a good thing because 3 Tigers were down to put him into the turf.
Ball down to the 25-yard line.
Tate continuing his fine kicking tonight.
Oh, you're not kidding. So Darlington punts it away to Aquinas. They're going to get their 3rd possession here of the 3rd quarter with 4:21 left here in the quarter.
Well, after 2 quick scores, it says it's become a game of field position.
It really has. Ball on the 25 for Aquinas on their side of the field. John Paul in at quarterback will send 2 wide receivers here to the near side, 1 on the far side. They're working right to left, by the way. Paul ready to take the snap. He's rolling out, looking to pass here on this play. Puts it in the air, and a nice catch, a diving catch by the wide receiver, which is George Welch, and that's going to be a good chunk of yards there for Aquinas on that play. But what a great diving catch, Eddie.
Yeah, just Carl Swiger had him covered but he just made a good catch, reaching out there and coming down that ball.
So they get it down to the 29-yard line. Ended up being a pickup of 4 when all is said and done. So 2nd down and 6 here for the Irish with 3 wide receivers off to the far side. And here's the snap. Quarterback's going to run the football, a design run play all the way. He gets it out to the 40-yard line. They get the 1st down and then some. That was a good play.
Well, John Paul just took that snap and just took off out there just outside his end out here on the left and just outran the coverage, and the contained man not able to hold him and picks up a 1st down.
So this time they're going to line up 1st down and 10 from the 43-yard line on Aquinas' side of the field. John Paul at quarterback, 2 wide receivers split on each side of the formation. There's the snap. They're going to pitch it, an option play to Douglas, and he's going to be dropped after a pickup of 3 or 4 yards on 1st down.
Well, good coverage of the pitch man. He still picked up about 4 yards. It didn't look like he got that many, but a 4-yard pickup by that. And Paul on another one of those options out there and did a good job of holding the ball to the last minute when the man committed on him and then pitched it.
Ball on the 46-yard line for 2nd down and 6 here for Aquinas. Coming off the field is going to be John Parrish. Actually, no, he's split. Line 3 wide receivers to the far side. Man goes in motion to the left side of the formation. Quarterback's going to run, and he's going to be brought down pretty quickly. There were 3 guys in on the play, but the lead tackler on that play is going to be number 60. That's Austin Rogers.
Well, Jacob Hunt grabbed him 2 in the backfield and just stopped him there, lost a little bit on that one. Jacob just good penetration from his end on this 9 technique out here on this side, and just behind the line, nowhere for him to go.
3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Man goes in motion. They're going to fake a screen pass. Now the quarterback scrambles, puts it in the air. Man's wide open, catches the ball. That's going to be number 24, Bradley White, who gets it down close to the 20-yard line. That turned into a big play.
Well, he just got in that zone and found a hole in that zone, and Paul just kept running and scrambling, and time enough for him to get out there. That was a long developing pass play.
There's a flag on the field around the 42-yard line, but the way the fans reacted over here, it was a call against Darlington. But I didn't see what the official called.
I didn't either.
Because as quickly as the receiver got downfield, I wasn't looking back here at the 42.
Either. Holding against Darlington.
Tigers on the Tigers.
So that'll help the Aquinas cause even more after that big play that got them.
Not sure they'll mark off any extra yardage for that. I would think they would decline that.
Yep, he's going to have it right on the 21-yard line. So Aquinas gets ready to come back to the line of scrimmage just shy of the red zone with first down and 10 and a little under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter, trailing. Darlington is up 20-7. Officials have a brief talk with Coach Leonard here on the sidelines, and they decline the penalty, as you pointed out. So the ball is right close to the 20-yard line, not quite, as the Irish run back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to snap it directly to Douglas, and he's going to send 3 wide receivers to the far side, but more than likely you'll see him run the ball, and that's what he does. Immediately after the snap, off to the right side, he finds some room to run. Powell drives down to about the 6, close to the 5-yard line on that play, and gets a first down. It's first and goal, Aquinas.
Well, they did a good job of blocking Elijah Ball out there, and he just couldn't contain that run there, and he just got outside of him, and nice run down there. First and goal now.
First down and goal. Ball is going to be on the 8-yard line of Aquinas. They are going to send their wide receiver far to the right. That's John Paul, who normally lines up at quarterback. They're going to keep Douglas in at the quarterback position. He'll run straight ahead. It gets inside the 5 before they finally, do they get him down? He is close to the goal line, but I think they finally got him down before he penetrated the end zone.
Just right up the middle and just refused to go down and kept dragging people with him. So now it's going to be second and goal from about the 2-yard line, maybe the 3-yard line, I think.
Under a minute to play here in the third quarter as
they're going to
they
stay
line
in
up.
that Wildcat.
Douglas gets ready to take the snap. He runs it off to the right side, and can Darlington keep him out of the end zone?
Yes. Didn't make it.
Nope, he sure didn't. He's going to be stopped at the 1, it looks like. I thought for sure he was going to have that, but the defense stood tall. And he's inside the 1, they say. So third down and goal here for Aquinas with the ball inside the 1-yard line. And it looks like
I don't look for him to do anything different here.
No reason to do that. Douglas gets ready to take the snap. And here it comes. He's going to run it to the right side, and this time he's in. Dives into the end zone. That's a 1-yard run for a touchdown, or plunge, I should say. And that'll cut into the Darlington lead. So that is Douglas's second touchdown of the night here for Aquinas. That'll make it 20-13 pending the PAT attempt here from Crimmins Hankinson. The hold will happen courtesy of John Paul. as we wait for the snap from their center. And here it is. The kick is up, and the kick is good. That makes it 20-14. We got a 6-point game again.
Darlington, they gave Tajay Watley a bit of a rest on that last series that we ran out there. So now it's time to stand up. If you want to win the game, here's the time. There's 8 seconds left in the third quarter.
Darlington up, but only by 6. 20-14 is the score. They've had a 13-point lead twice here in this football game.
Well, this is the time where you can't be faint-hearted if you're a Darlington player or a Darlington coach. Brent Bell's got to call those plays, and you can't get conservative because you got to score, because this is not going to hold right here.
So the ball will be teed up at the 40-yard line as we await Mr. Crimmins Hankinson to kick it back off here for Aquinas to the Darlington Tigers. Tajay Watley is going to be back deep to attempt to return the kick. Now Darlington up 20-14. As you pointed out, 8 seconds left on the clock here in the third quarter. We're almost down to the final 12 here in round 2 of the JHSA Single A Private Playoffs. Exciting stuff. Here's the kick from Hankinson, and it's going to go into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20.
Touchback for Crimmins Hankinson.
So 8 seconds left here in the third quarter, and Darlington will come out to the 20 to begin their third drive of the second half. They scored on their first drive of the half on a 3-yard touchdown run for the Tigers. Griffin Brewster, the quarterback, scored that touchdown for the Tigers. They're going to line up this time in shotgun formation, 2 wide to the far side, working left to right. Griffin Brewster takes the snap from the 20. He's going to hand it off to Tajay. Picks up a yard on the play. Good defense from Aquinas.
Well, right up the middle on that play, and Tajay able to pick up a yard or 2.
And that's the end of the third quarter. Darlington leads it, but only by 6 points, 20-14. The momentum is certainly in favor of Aquinas. We'll be back for the final 12 minutes after a 1-minute break on WLAQ and the live video stream. Well, the Darlington Tigers need to come up with a big drive here. They're in the lead, and they've led the whole way of this game. But right now, their lead has dwindled to 6 points. It is 20-14. They'll line up with Tajay Watley in the Wildcat formation. He's going to run it to the right side here on this second down play. He's got a big seam. He's down to the 50, to the 45, the 40, the 35. And they're going to bring him down at about the 33. That was a big-time run from a big-time player.
Well, that's what it comes down to. You got 12 minutes left to go, and it's time your season either ends tonight or continues, and for both teams here. So this is the time, crunch time as they call it. And a nice run by Tajay on that Wildcat formation. Just took it, ran off tackle out to the side, and
47-yard run.
Yep.
Tajay Watley on the Wildcat, 47-yard run. That gets him down to the 33-yard line in Aquinas territory. Shotgun formation, a wide receiver on each side of the formation. Darlington working right to left. Hand it off to Carl Schweiger. He finds a seam. He's up the middle of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, 33 yards. Touchdown, Darlington Tigers. They answer the bell.
Well, they fooled everybody in the stadium, including you and me. Just We thought Griffin was going to pass. We thought he handed off to the man coming in motion over here, and went Carl Schweiger on a trap up the middle and just untouched there. Big time run by a senior.
You are not kidding, and that will get the points back. 26-14 is your score in favor of Darlington, pending this PAT coming up here in just a couple of moments. And it's been some big plays here in the second half for Darlington, huh?
It really has. Been big plays for both teams in this game, although that last drive was just a run, and they finally pounded it in there. But Darlington doing good. Nothing of quiet in the crowd like scoring after you score.
They'll get ready to line up. Looks like they'll
go
for two here. Shotgun formation. Griffin Brewster sends 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. It looks like we're going to have a timeout.
Darlington called timeout.
All right, we're going to take a timeout as well. 11:23 left here in the game. 26-14 Darlington up. Let's see what they do after a 30-second timeout.
First of all,
Darlington just went up by 12 after a 33-yard run from Carl Schweiger, and they were lining up to go for 2, and then they called a timeout, so we'll see what they do out of this timeout.
What they've decided. I think Alex Little's coming in with a tee.
So Darlington comes back in a Wildcat formation. And let's see what happens. There's a snap. He is going to drop back, throw a little pass, and it's going to be, that's interference, is it not? It's going to be incomplete. It was batted away.
Batted away. I don't think it was interference. He was up in the air, and he had the ball in his hands before he did anything like that. Almost so close.
Indeed, he threw the pass to Jacob Hunt. Thought it was going to be a 2-point conversion. Came up a little short on a good defensive effort there by Aquinas to stop the 2-point conversion, and the score remains 26-14. But Darlington right now, they don't have it put away, but they're certainly in control. And every time that Aquinas has come up with something big, Darlington's been able to answer the bell, and that is huge.
Just as big, yep. And they've bled slowly on that last drive. They've made Aquinas take a whole lot of time to score, except for that burst in the early in the third quarter of Aquinas, but then Darlington answered quickly with a burst of their own.
Aquinas had 3 drives there in that third quarter, Eddie, and Darlington was able to get 1 stop. Now they'll get their first drive here of the final quarter of the game. Darlington has to get a stop here on defense. Ball is teed up by Alex Little. He'll kick it away to Aquinas. 1 man back deep. That's going to be John Paul, their quarterback, who's serving as the return man here on this kickoff. It's going to be a fairly short kick at around the 20-yard line that will be brought out, and he's able to cut up field and extend the Ward Tire, if you will.
Yep, that's him running off the field. Hard to bring down, but Darlington kept him for a short gain on that play, so now they're on the 32-yard line with 11 minutes, 18 seconds, and 68 yards to go. And it's Darlington's job to hold them right here.
26-14, Darlington leads by 12 points. 11:18 left to go. Aquinas comes back to the line of scrimmage. Paul at quarterback, shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers on each side of the formation. He's looking to throw on first down, and he's going to get nearly sacked, and finally does. Number 22 came in, tried to get him.
Kellen Stepp, yep.
Kellen Stepp, but he couldn't get him down, so one of his teammates came over and helped him. And did you catch the number on the player?
I believe that was Jacob Hunt that came in and finished that play off.
Thank you.
Did a good job. Elijah Ball out there holding his corner out there. Again, looked like holding by the Aquinas player, but not called. But he did a good job of setting his corner out here on defense and not allowing John Paul to get outside on him.
Shotgun formation. Actually, this is going to be that Wildcat look with Joseph Douglas as the quarterback. They're going to snap it directly to him. He will run, and he's brought down pretty quickly, and I believe that was Tate Ratledge in on the stop.
Yep. Getting up like that. Wildcat, just take it, run outside. Darlington did a good job of shutting that down.
Brings up third down and a long way to go here for Aquinas. So a stop here, Eddie, goes a long way for Darlington for sure.
Really need this stop right here. Would be a big play for them.
Trips to the far side. One wide receiver to the near side. Douglas is in the backfield with the quarterback, John Paul. He takes the snap, rolling out, looking to pass. He's going to put it in the air. It is caught, but brought down immediately.
Great play coming in. Seeing that, had a man there trying to block him, but Cullen reached out there and got a piece of his shirt and didn't allow him to go anywhere. No gain whatsoever on that play. Great play by Kellen Stepp.
Ball's going to be at the 27-yard line of Aquinas, and they'll have to punt it away, obviously. Crimmins Hankinson in to punt it away, and Darlington will have one man back at about the 40-yard line. That's going to be, of course, none other than Casey Gunn. Here comes the kick. It's going to be a fairly long punt down to the 42, and he'll signal the fair catch, and Darlington has good field position after getting a stop.
Good solid job by Casey Gunn coming up, making the definitive catch there.
This will be the fourth drive of the half for Darlington. They've scored 2 of their 3 previous drives.
But this is where you need a long, drawn-out drive that ends in a touchdown.
Darlington up by 12 points here with 9:24 left here in the contest. And as you mentioned, put together a few first downs here, get it down the field and score, and try to put this thing away and not leave a lot of time for a comeback for Aquinas. We're in Augusta, Georgia tonight. Glad you are with us on WLAQ, or if you're watching the video stream tonight. Honeymoon Bakery player of the game coming up after the game, as well as the Steak and Shake halftime show. Shotgun formation, wide receivers, one on each side of the formation. Here comes the snap to Griffin Brewster, gives it right to Tajay Watley, gets tripped up and brought down after a pickup of close to 2 yards.
Just coming from his left side and going to the right side of the line, beside the center, and then picking up a short gain.
So Darlington with their offense on the field and a 12-point lead late in this game. Long drive and a score here would come close to putting this thing out of reach.
Well, they've got their cards up, the play cards up over there.
Shotgun formation, one wide receiver on each side of the formation. Darlington working right to left. Griffin Brewster looks off to the sidelines. Gets ready to take the snap. There it is. He's going to give it to Tajay Watley. They'll run a sweep to the right side. He gets a big hole, and he's down to the 40-yard line. First down, about a 16-yard run there for the Darlington Tigers.
Well, nice run by Tajay. And he's just been deadly running off the outside the end out there, especially the right side of the Darlington offensive line. That's the same direction he ran on those when he was in the Wildcat, making those big runs.
Ball on the 41-yard line as Darlington gets ready to start with a fresh set of downs with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game, leading at 26-14. Shotgun formation, wide receiver on each side of the formation. Carl Swiger's in the backfield. Here comes the snap. They're going to hand it to Swiger. He goes off to the right side of the formation, dives forward, and gets some yards after contact, 3 or 4 yards. That was a hard run right there.
Well, good hard running by Carl out there, just to sweep outside and running hard and fought for 4 or 5 yards there. Good hard running by the senior.
Tremendous effort, no doubt about it. 37-yard line is where the ball is spotted after the run. And Darlington lines up with Swiger in the backfield. They're going to line up with a couple of wide receivers looking off the 26-14. Brewster getting set to take the snap. Here it is. He's going to hand it back to Swiger. Gets a decent block, and he's going to be brought down after a pickup of 2 or 3 yards. He might have got more out of that because he just kept on pushing. Ball
Fumble,
came
they
out.
called it.
And it looks like Aquinas may have recovered it.
Well, Aquinas is saying they recovered it. I haven't seen the referee signal that yet.
Yep, there it is. Aquinas has recovered the fumble. And a costly turnover for Darlington here late in the game, giving some life here to this Aquinas team. Ball's going to be spotted at the 34-yard line.
happens so many times. We see that, trying to squeeze out those extra yards and fighting hard and just hustle by that, and the ball squirts loose like that.
So the ball will be on the 34-yard line. Defense back out on the field here for Darlington. And they will have to come up with another stop, but they still lead it by 2 scores, 26-14 with 7 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. John Paul at quarterback here for Aquinas. He'll send 2 wide receivers to the near side, one to the far side, working left to right. He's going to hand it off. It's going to be a flea flicker. Ball is in the air, and it is going to be batted down by Tajay Watley. Incomplete pass.
Beautiful play by Tajay. He stayed with it and never balked the run, and stayed with it and reached up there and knocked it away. What a player. I think we know who's in the running for the Honeymoon Bakery player of the game, don't we?
Oh,
who's ahead right now?
I think so, and I have to say, man, I love the flea flicker, and when it works to perfection, it's fun to watch, but you never want to watch it work to perfection against the team.
No, not against your own team.
Your own team, no. But this time the defense was ready for it and made a great play, and Tajay playing great on both sides of the ball. That was a big-time defensive play.
It was.
2nd down and 10 here for Aquinas. Shotgun formation. Paul is going to run the football. It was a run play all the way. And
that was actually 44.
Was it?
Yep.
Yep, you're right. Douglas on the carry picked up 2 or 3 yards, setting up 3rd down and 6 here for Aquinas. And anytime you see him running at quarterback, it's going to be a run play.
Actually about 7, isn't it?
What's that?
I said actually about 7, 3rd and 7. They moved the marker back. It looked like they had marked about 6 yards. It looked like it's about 7, nearly 8 yards to go for a 1st down now.
So Aquinas back to the line of scrimmage. This is a big play for both teams, obviously. Aquinas offensively. Darlington looking to get a stop here on 3rd down and 7. Man goes in motion. Here comes the snap to Paul. Flag
Aquinas
comes in.
man moved, yep.
Be a false start on the offense. Ball drop back 5 yards.
Gonna make it 3rd and 12. 13. 3rd and 13, call it.
So again, if you're just tuning back in with us, 26-14, Darlington with a 12-point lead, 7 minutes to go in the game. And Aquinas with a big 3rd down and 12 coming up here from their own 31. Working left to right, Paul at quarterback. He's got a wide receiver split far to the far side. Man goes in motion, that's Douglas. Typically when they do that, they're getting ready to throw a screen pass, which they do, and they connect with number 19, Michael Brown. And he picks up a couple of yards there, but that sets up 4th down and it looks like 11 or 12.
Yeah, Darlington not fooled by that play. Tommy Eighth making a tackle and Kellen Stepp both in there, just not fooled at all, expecting it. And so is it 4 down territory, or are they going to try to punt it?
Down 2 scores, I don't know. I think it's probably 4 down territory, personally. I don't think you got a choice. So they'll send 3 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. Empty backfield for John Paul. He takes the snap, rolling out, looking to pass. He's got a little bit of trouble. He tries to throw the ball, and it's going to be incomplete as he does get it away, but I think that was because of the pressure. He just had to unload the ball.
Had nowhere to go with it, and everybody was covered that he would have wanted to throw to anyway, and you could have called that intentional grounding, but Darlington would have declined that.
So Darlington is going to get a stop after Aquinas turns it over on downs.
They take over on the 32-yard line of Aquinas.
So great field position as to begin, and this could be the final nail in the coffin if they can find a way to punch it in. 6:15 left in the football game. Darlington gets ready to line up at the 32.
Ironically, they take it over just about where Carl fumbled it over there.
It's funny how things have a way of working themselves out, huh? Darlington trying to pick up a hard-fought victory here on the road. And
I see John Paul coming off gingerly. They're having to support him to get him off the field.
Quarterback of Aquinas. He's going to be looked at by the trainers over here. Banged up a little bit. Shotgun formation. Brewster taking the snap. He's going to hand it off to Tajay Watley. A delayed handoff. Runs out to the right side, cuts up field, and gets about 6 yards.
Wouldn't you like to have that kind of speed and could just do that? That's just a straight sweep outside, and Tajay just kept out running people. They finally tracked him down, but just use that speed to get out there.
There's not too many guys around that can do it like that. That's for sure. Looking forward to watching him in the white and gold.
He will be. I will be supporting him when he gets there. He's been a good player for Darlington.
So you can stifle your vomit long enough to root for Tajay, huh?
For a little bit, yes. As long as it's in a losing effort.
Quarterback rolls up under center, 2nd down and 4. Oh, they're going to pitch it right on a toss sweep to Tajay Watley. Cuts up field, and he's able to get inside the 20 and gets a fresh set of down for Darlington. They're about to put this thing away, I get the feeling.
Well, they got the chance, and I will keep riding that horse. I don't know why you'd give it to anybody but Tajay unless he just gets too tired to hand it to. Looks like he's coming off the field for a rest now.
So that's going to bring it down inside the 20 in the red zone to the 19.
Tommy Eighth over there saying, I know you're tired, Tajay, but you got to suck it up one more time. Clock continues to run. 5-12. It looks slow from our vantage point. I'm sure it's flying if you're an Aquinas fan.
Darlington sends a wide receiver on each side of the formation. Shotgun formation in the backfield is Carl Swiger. In for Tajay Watley. Here comes the snap to Griffin Brewster. He's going to give it to Swiger. Runs off the left side, gets a decent block, and gets it down to the 15-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 4 to 5 yards. Clock ticking. 4:40 left in the game. Darlington up by 2 scores, looking to make it 3. Griffin Brewster off to the sidelines talking to Brent Bell, the offensive coordinator. Comes back with the play call to the huddle. They'll break the huddle, come back to the line of scrimmage, eating up some of this clock.
But you know, this is one of the few places that we've seen in the last few games that doesn't have a play clock on the field.
There's the snap. They're going to give it to Carl Swiger. Dives forward, getting close to the 10 there on that play. Not enough for the first down, not even close.
Going to bring up a big 3rd down 2 here.
So Darlington goes back to the drawing board here on 3rd down and 2. Under 4 minutes to play, leading at 26-14. Another score here would put it out of reach.
Well, I would bring Tajay back out, but
they haven't done that yet. Swiger.
Nope, he's not going to be in. So
let's see what they do. Shotgun formation. 1 wide receiver on each side of the formation. Swiger in the backfield. Man goes in motion to the right side. Here's the snap. They're going to hand it off. Swiger goes on a sweep out to the right side, dives forward. Did he get enough to get the first down? He came fairly close.
That's really close.
Might be a little bit short, but we'll see when they spot it.
Big spot right here.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to stop the clock and measure, I believe.
Darlington up 26-14. We have 3:20 left here in the ball game as they will come out and measure.
From this angle, looks like he might have it, but I don't know with the angle we're at down there.
Right.
That may be skewing the look for us.
And now we're screened, so it's kind of hard. He got
first down.
Mm-hmm. That's a big first down right there.
Now that's 3:20. So now Darlington doesn't have to snap the ball until it's down under 3 minutes to play.
Ball is just inside the 10, close to the 9-yard line in the red zone. Darlington up 26-14. Clock starts now, 3:14. Griffin Brewster brings them back into the huddle, obviously taking their time back to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to send a wide receiver to the near side, one to the far side. Brewster getting ready to take the snap with now under 3 minutes to play in the game. So the snap, they're going to hand it off, giving it to Carl Swiger. He's down to the 5-yard line. And so another good pickup here for the Darlington Tigers as they get ready to put this thing out of reach.
Well, it's going to be 2nd down and goal from the 5. They were just inside of 10. They were on like the 9 and 7/8 yard line there, so they've got to score to get it in here, to keep the downs alive.
2nd down here for the Tigers.
So they want to score here, but they're in no rush to score.
Okay, 27-7, Prince Avenue leads Whitfield Academy, so it looks like they're going to lock that one up. There's a run inside that's going to be stopped at the 4-yard line for a good stop by Aquinas.
Well, they're just ganging up that middle, and Darlington are reluctant to run it out. I wonder if they'll send Ty J in now for a run outside.
Carl Schweiger was the ball carrier on that last play, and we haven't seen him come out just yet. They're sticking with Schweiger, it looks like, here for this play at the running back position. Minute 38 left here in the game. This is going to be 3rd down and goal here for the Darlington Tigers. Quarterback's rolling up under center. It's Griffin Brewster getting ready to take the snap, and he is going to fake the handoff, roll out, throws a pass, and it's going to be complete. Touchdown, Darlington Tigers. What a great play, and that was number 22 who made the catch, Keelan Stepp.
He was lined up at sniffer back and ran along the line of scrimmage and just sneaked out there and over the line. There was nobody covering him out there, and he was so wide open. That's one of those throws that's sometimes difficult to make because he's so wide open.
32-14, Darlington leads it after the touchdown pass from Brewster to Stepp. And now on to kick the extra point is going to be Alex Little. And this would make it 33-14 as Darlington starts to pull away. There's the kick, and it is good. So 33-14 is your score with 1 minute and 23 seconds left. It looks like we're going to be going to Athens next week.
That'll be fun. You need to see a real college place.
I can't. Oh, thanks. He's trying to slide that in whenever he can.
See, go to a campus where they have pretty women.
You know what? I'm not even an Auburn fan, but I feel like singing a song. I said it's great to be an Auburn Tiger. I know my dad likes that song.
Your dad's going to spank you when you get home. Such foolishness as that.
He's in there. I can hear him in the studio when we're doing this, and he is just rolling in the floor laughing. He loves it. 33-14, Darlington up. It is very, very quiet over here on the Aquinas side.
Yes, we've really settled this crowd down, and these guys up here with us who have been so vociferous the whole game have quieted down quite a bit too.
This is going to be a huge win for Darlington, and this has been a team that's been gaining steam throughout the season. They are clicking on all cylinders now.
Well, they've gone back to the pooch, and they're kicking from the middle of the field again.
Alex Little kicks at a squib that goes up to the 20-yard line. It'll be brought out by number 15. He is fast and pretty shifty, Ward Tyre, and he is able to get a good block, but he's hit hard on the sidelines. And there's a flag. What's the flag? 37 came in.
I think it was over here down a few yards from the play.
Rhett McDermott put the hit on the return man big time.
I think that's going to add 15 yards. I think they're going to get Darlington for unnecessary roughness. It didn't happen at the play with the player. What happened down here about 5 or 6 yards.
Well, Rhett McDermott with a big hit on the return man on that play, too.
They're calling a blow to the head, personal foul.
That'll be, as you mentioned, a 15-yard penalty and brings it down to the 40-yard line, helmet contact.
Well, a foolish penalty, but it probably doesn't matter. Darlington has called timeout now.
1:14 left in the game. Darlington up 33-14. As Aquinas will take one last gasp and see if they can get something going here with not a lot of time to work with.
Well, they're down 19 points.
Well, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to next week because on Thursday I'm going down to Atlanta to run in the Thanksgiving Day half marathon.
Well, good for you.
On Friday, we'll be heading to Athens, hopefully, as long as they can cap this off. And then on Saturday, I'll be going down to watch a little clean old-fashioned hate down at historic Grant Field.
Should be a big-time ball game.
I hope so.
Good game.
So Aquinas gets ready to line up. And, you know, this is one of those situations where this is what it's all about, folks, because when you get into the playoffs, one team's season is over and another team's season gets to continue. And you just hope you're on that end of things where You're not in it. Actually, that's a backup quarterback, J.P. Lambert. First time we've seen him.
Still over here on this.
Yeah, I think he is. He's over here on this golf cart over here, sports medicine golf cart. So that's going to be a loss.
Clock is moving, 53 seconds.
Lost 5 yards on that play, second down and 15. From the 45, the drive started on the 40-yard line. 44 seconds, as you mentioned, on the clock, and timeout's going to be called by Aquinas. So let's take another one. We'll send it back to the studio for 30 seconds. 33-14, Darlington about to lock this thing up. We'll be back in 30. Okay, we are back. I think they must be recognizing the seniors right now as this thing winds down.
That's what he was. One last time down to 44 seconds. And, you know, Matt, my wife had a honeydew list. I'm taking off Friday after Thanksgiving. She had a honeydew list as long as my leg that I will manage to avoid now.
There's the snap. Lambert puts it in the air, and there's a flag that comes in immediately. It's incomplete as it was batted down by a couple of Tigers. But I guess we're going to see a
holding. I guess that wasn't a late hit, was it?
I don't think so, because the flag came in before
he. Okay. Yep. I was watching the play downfield. Darlington just had him covered up. Never really had a chance at that ball. So that takes it down to 38 seconds.
Indeed, it does. Glad you're with us tonight on WLAQ AM 1410, and super glad that we're going to get at least one more week of high school football with the Darlington Tigers. Looking forward.
They called it against Darlington? What did they call it?
It was, I have no
5
idea.
yard, must have been an incidental face mask.
Illegal substitution.
That was not what he signaled.
Here comes the snap. Empty backfield. Lambert going to put it in the air up the middle of the field, and it's almost intercepted by the Tigers. Incomplete pass. They're on second down, bringing up 3rd and 10.
Well, now down to 32 seconds. This last minute's going to take all night to finish, isn't it?
It's 10 o'clock, and you're listening to WLAQ AM 1410 in Rome, Georgia. Darlington Tigers football.
Randy will have a short show tonight to do with scores, won't he?
Yeah, you know, we usually start about 10 and go to 11, but like you say, going to get a late start tonight. Brief wrap-up show brought to you by Steak and Shake and also Honeymoon Bakery Player of the Game. Of course, we already know who that's going to be. Shotgun formation, empty backfield for Lambert, who's in at backup quarterback, puts the ball in the air. Nice spiral. It's going to be incomplete over his head. The intended receiver had no chance at that one.
Well, I think if he had kept running, he jumped too soon. I think if he kept running, he might have had a shot at it. It wasn't that bad a pass. He just stopped and jumped.
40-yard line. So this brings up 4th down and 10. This will be the last gasp here for Aquinas. Obviously, game in pocket here for Darlington, 33-14. But I'm sure, you know, Aquinas would like to punch in another score before it's over with. And
well, they haven't given up and they haven't stopped playing. This guy is a good coach.
He really is. He's had a lot of success here. Shotgun formation, empty backfield, 5 receivers, 3 on the far side, 2 on the near. Aquinas working left to right. There's the snap. Lambert's got company in the backfield. He's going to throw a quick pass out the left side. They'll connect, and ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a 4th down turnover here for Aquinas.
What an appropriate way to end that. That was Tommy Atha out there, one-on-one, making a great one-on-one tackle out there, and just stop that play. Not a badly conceived play, but Tommy Atha out there, and they had a man trying to block him, but he fought off the block and made a great open field tackle.
Well, Darlington gets ready to come back to the line of scrimmage, leading this one 33-14 over Aquinas.
Well, we're going to see the best formation in football right now, I'm sure.
As long as you're the team that's in it.
That's right.
Victory formation. And Darlington has certainly earned this victory, man. It has been a really, really good season for the Tigers, and they're going to keep this thing going at least another week. Quarterback under center. In of course, the victory formation. He'll take a knee, and ladies and gentlemen, the Darlington Tigers
That's going to do it.
pick
Darlington
up a victory.
moves on to Athens.
Pretty unbelievable night here.
As Larry Munson used to say, he curls lovingly over the ball.
Oh, man, 33-14. Darlington picks up the upset seed, Aquinas. What a big win that is. Certainly the marquee win for Darlington so far this season, and they'll try to pick up another one coming up next week. Again, final score 33-14. Good thing we wrote it down quickly because they took it off the scoreboard here as quick as they possibly could. And I certainly understand that. It's a tough way to end the season here at home at Aquinas, but Darlington comes away with a victory. Aquinas had a great season, but unfortunately for them, it comes to a close. And we're going to send it back to the studio for a couple of minutes, and we'll come back and have the Steak and Shake halftime show, as well as award the Honeymoon Bakery Player of the Game. And we'll wrap things up here from Augusta, Georgia in a few minutes. We'll send it back to the Big Kahuna.